Welcome to Storm King's Thunder, where me and a bunch of my nerdy-ass friends get together and we like to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons, baby!
Tonight, we are on session 51 of our campaign, where our intrepid heroes last left off. They had just returned home from Nightstone, or home to Nightstone, pardon me, after a rather risky and dangerous trip down into Skullport. Upon returning home, Josh, Zarok, had recognized some of the Uthgardt that had came back with some of the tribes that were restoring stands. Namely, the chief, Seiko, who he recognized as the man who led the attack on his home. Josh became, or excuse me, I keep saying Josh, Z became overpowered with emotion and oddly still and focused as he basically set up his, was having these waves of anger of each of the spirits within him who was furious to see their murderer walking freely. And Josh, stepping through the flames towards Seiko, called him out for this. First using some mental trickery to speak to only Seiko, and upon raising Seiko's attention and the rest of the Uthgardt, Chief Hydia demanded him to speak plain and say what Z was talking about. Seiko goes on to explain that Z's people had caused forest fires that had eventually led to them being driven out of their lands and their stand being raided. Z insisted that his people were innocent, and Kaya of the Black Raven tribe told Seiko that it was in fact the fire giants who caused the majority of these fires and are the ones responsible for stealing the artifact at Raven Rock. Seiko, one part ashamed, one part displeased with the shame of the tribe, accepted what Chief Hydia introduced as a blood testing, a trial of strength and willpower between Z and Seiko, which, of course, Z was more than happy to do. The battle commenced with a series of swift blows from Seiko, strikes with a spear, attempts to knock you prone and grapple you. Z, however, being the expert spellcrafter he is, was able to push and pull, teleport away, and keep Seiko at a arm's length, but never fleeing. Upon using synaptic static to make Seiko's rolls less effective, and then proceed to follow that up with some heavy damage from his mental prison, Josh effectively incapacitated the chief, who was then executed by Josh in a rather brutal fashion. The second in command, Kenneth, was furious. I just saw your witness. Kenneth was furious with her chief being slain before her and attacked Z. However, Hydia pulled her off of him and threw her to the ground, saying that she is bringing shame to Uthgardt by acting in such a way and to get a hold of herself. Josh did even check in with Goldbrand to ask if it was fair in his people's custom to execute Seiko. And Goldbrand was like, oh yeah, fuck, you have told, he's your bitch now, you can fucking kill him. And with a heated axe through the center of the skull, Z did. The party proceeded to continue into the sleuth fire that the Uthgardt were about to hold, initially called for by Seiko, now led by Kenneth, his second in command, who was questioning the nature of the gathering before them. Uthgardt from tribes across the country gathered together, but for what? Who was gathering them here? Why were they uniting like this? What was the reason? Was a Moot called to rend this a true alliance? And after many of the tribes shared their opinions on the nature of this, the overwhelming consensus was this was out of necessity. This was not called together because someone wanted to unite all of them. The tribes were in such disarray that as Goldbrand had come across each of them in need and not at their full strength, that uniting was the best option for the tribes for survival. And now, with the growing force of Bane Darkwind approaching Nightstone, it truly seems as if this may be the moment that they've been gathering for. The tribes began to go their separate ways in the regards of restoring the stand. I believe Nori led a party to the Great Worm tribe to restore that stand. Marengo returned with some of his riders with a mask to restore their stand. And Kenneth and the Grey Wolves led an expedition to the Morker's Mound to return the Gert's Great Axe to where it was originally pulled from. And other Uthgardt went to appeal to their tribes. Rancor with the Black Lions, Kaya with the Ravens, Myra of the Elk going to seek the Tree Ghost and trying to gather these forces from across the country. Of course, it was brought up a couple of times that it is not a true moot, even with the representation that they have. While you have 12 of the tribes around in your company, you are short one, the Thunderbeast tribe, which has been missing since Morger's Mound was raided and the axe stolen. Now, the tribe seemed to be of the mindset that even without the Thunderbeast tribe, a moot could be held, as there was no Thunderbeast known to participate in this. And if the moot were to agree that the full force of Uthgar's fury would follow them into battle and against Bane Darkwind. After wrapping up down in the camp, you guys proceeded to talk to Zephyros, Felgalus, and Harshnag, each of them preparing you in their own ways for the complicated journey ahead, as they blew on their horns to open the whirlpool portal to Maelstrom. Each of you leapt in and swirled down this tight stream of water and eventually appeared in Maelstrom, a beautiful underwater city lit with bioluminescent jellyfish, algae, and the distant sun miles above the surface of the water. The party was able to meet with before that, the party was brought to a holding chamber while they reached the Princess Serissa, where they encountered a variety of giants who were rather confused by the small folk's appearance in Maelstrom, and gathered so much attention that it distracted from the musical performance that the other two princesses were in the middle of presenting. The eldest daughter, Mirren, was furious by this and demanded them to be thrown out immediately, that small folk were traitors and could not be trusted and should be ousted from Maelstrom. Nim was the middle child, was slightly more accepting, saying that if they're here to free father, then their help could be, what harm could it do? And noted that, besides, they probably didn't want to talk to either of them, but the current ruling sister, Serissa. You guys were brought into the main chamber where you met Imperator Uthor, who is Hecaton's brother and the leader of the military forces of the Storm Giants, as well as Imelda, a counselor and advisor to King Hecaton. Princess Serissa, the youngest daughter, was very insistent that she was not to take the throne, that if she believed if she were to take the throne, the divine spark of power that her father had would be eliminated, and she believed that to be the only thing that was keeping him alive at the moment. Despite these pleas of taking the throne, she refuted them, and when you expressed interest in freeing Hecaton, she shared with you the only evidence that she had, that on the beach where her mother was slain, presumably by small folk according to the tracks, that there was a small wooden token painted gold with a golden goose on it. Davos, with a natural 20, was able to tie all of this together, that this is the same token that Wex dropped at Zephyros' tower. That token being from a riverboat that had burned down sometime before, but Saphyne had mentioned was currently in the works of being restored. And given that two different known members of the Kraken Society had dropped these tokens, that this very likely was a base of operations for the organization, or at least one of them. The party put all these pieces together and decided to part ways with Serissa, but not before leaving her with the information that there was a traitor in her court. She incinerated the message, which Pandora very intelligently suggested be written instead of spoken. And upon her destroying the note, she dismissed you. And with a wave of her hands, you guys felt that swirling tug, and your minds go dizzy and dull, and your eyes close as you open up to the bright light that is Nightstone, back within the courtyard of your town. Before we proceed, any comments, snide remarks? Shenanigans or antics?
Arc spicy fireballs.
Arc spicy fireballs, indeed.
How did they send us back to Nightstone? Or did we...
With a wave of her ruling scepter, it seems that she dismissed you from her grounds. There is a teleportation circle on site that is how most people are sent back. But when people are dismissed, they are returned from the location they teleported in from.
So are the other giants still with us?
Harshnag and Zephyros are still with you. Yes, they are with you in Nightstone.
Cool. That was a trip. Alright.
Wow.
Yeah. Yikes. We need to get one of those.
Aye.
Say a word. I think I could take a spell.
You guys are back in Nightstone and know that your next destination, for lack of a better word, is the Grand Dame, a riverboat within the city of Yatar, several miles to the north, up past even Golden Fields, and probably the same altitude, the same longitude as Neverwinter, so at least a couple of days journey north on the airship. There is a little bit of time left in the day if you guys would like to do anything in particular. You do see a couple of things about town. Gideon, you've been gone for a few hours at this point. Gideon comes up with like one arm sort of limp at his side, and you see his sleeve is rolled up, and there is fresh ink and blood across his arm as he has just gotten his tattoos. If he sees you guys and eagerly rushes over and shows off his ink. And he's got a couple of things. He's got, on the outside of the arms, there's these woven tribal lines that symbolize him as a fully blooded Uthgardt. Across his chest, there are woven lines that resemble a rack of antlers, starting and crossing and then branching out across his pectorals and onto his delts. He also has a bear skull on his forearm where he slew Golbrand. And then there is a tribal band of broken chain links that is wrapped around the 285 on his arm to symbolize him being freed from the Iron Ring. And he's thrilled. He's like, this one hurt a fuck ton, and this one wasn't so bad. But the fucking chest, dude, the collarbone. Oh my fucking god.
Dude, it does.
Man, no, it was awesome. And you know, this ink I got to pick, so you know, it's really cool. He does say, Chaska says that Golbrand, you're due for a few tattoos, as well as Z, and all of you have slain dragons and saved Uthgar's people, and likely slain a chief or two in your time, so you guys are welcome to go get some ink if you would like.
I actually kind of would.
Do you see my fur? Do you think anything's gonna matter if I get it tattooed on my skin? I've got spots, you know.
He looks at you and he's like, maybe we can dye your fur? I don't know. I'll work on it. We'll figure it out.
I mean, I do have literal dragon scales, so will needles work?
It'll be almost painted more so than it will be stabbed into the scales. That will be interesting.
Just dye it.
You guys do go down.
Are Davos and Bergen allowed to have tattoos?
I'm gonna say, that's not part of Bergen's customs.
You say it's not part. You don't have to, and we won't give Davos anything since he's not here. But rules is written. I don't believe there's anything preventing them from receiving tattoos.
Not rules wise. I just figured flavor wise.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Wheeler Woe, if you roll Woe, then he gets a stick man with little action running lines on his butt.
He gets a tribal
little stick dragon in the sky.
Everyone knows that Helm's people, the Helmites, are obviously very Jewish, so no tattoos for Spencer. He's all out.
I was gonna say, since he's gone, we can always give Davos just a crude penis tattoo
on his forehead.
Yeah. Yeah. Davos in an arc with a heart around it.
Yeah.
Bicep.
We'll start with our current victor, Z. Chaska, again, this wrinkled old woman, probably in her 60s or 70s. Dark bands of tattoos across her face, her arms covered. And this is a woman who, through she is the face reader of the tribe. She is often responsible for recognizing children and their lineage, who their fathers are, because the tribe largely is not monogamous. There are people who have open relationships. There are people who go out and raid and reproduce, and children are brought back into the tribe. And it is her job to find out who is whose daddy, as well as assign them their tasks and what they will do. And as part of this, sort of getting to decide who is a hunter, who is a crafter, who is a warrior, is branding them with their own unique symbology through the Uthgardt. She says that as you have slain a chief, that one such reward would be a wolf skull, typically placed on the interior of the forearm.
Sick.
And if you agree to that, she would go ahead and begin that piece.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Let's do it.
Excellent. She takes out
Oh,
this
yeah.
this long narrow stick that has almost like a nail at the end of it, just a scrap piece of metal. And she has this thick tarry ink that she dips the nail in, places on your skin, and then she takes like a stone mallet and like taps it. And it's a sharp jab. It's not comfortable. It's not excruciating by any means, but it's not. You're not enjoying it. And it takes her quite a while. It takes her about an hour. Do me a favor, roll a con save. We're just going to see how Z handles this.
Okay.
That one.
Don't stand up too fast. I like
Yeah.
You take it like a champ. Every single hit, you think of a person in your tribe who Seiko took from you. And it builds that resolve of that you did the right thing, that you eliminated the man who had taken so much from you and prevented him from doing that to anyone else. It also proved to his tribe that his arrogance in thinking that he knew who the arsonists were was misplaced. That certainty, however powerful, is still an emotion and not fact. And really put that into perspective for some of the tribe. The skull is very, very nice. It's bleeding slightly still. It's going to take a few days to heal up before it's nice and crisp, but you like it. Looks pretty solid.
Nice. I want to thank her for it. And then I'm going to point at the wolf skull and just say foreshadowing with no context, question mark.
Foreshadowing with no context. Indeed. She also goes, now you do have, typically for killing a chief, we would do an entire sleeve for your arm. So we would cover the entire thing. And she goes, now this would obviously take quite a bit of time. What I propose is flames atop the arm and the band here, the phases of the moon beneath, and then we go into some more of our tribal lines that will surround the skull and leave enough space on the under forearm for more trophies as you acquire them.
I look to Goldbrand and say, I don't know. Is that cool in your tribe or am I a dork?
Although she is the authorities on the designs.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't just go and say, hey, I want a dragon's head. Like, no, you have to slay a dragon to earn that right. Oh, what she does say, as you all slew Old Gnawbone, you could choose to get a dragon skull as well.
Oh, man. Thanks.
I don't worry about that right now. How
It
long?
is
That
a
does
way
sound
to
really
ward
cool.
off. Yeah, this is a way to ward off other enemies. Any Uthgardt will see the markings and know that you have achieved a certain amount of things based on, in this case, your whole arm.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Arcanox is a pirate, so he already has tattoos.
Yeah.
So he's more than okay with getting more.
Yeah. She says that you're certainly welcome to get the dragon skull for slaying Old Gnawbone. She also tells you that if any of you have a certain enemy of note that you have taken down, you're welcome to get a symbol from them. If you
Commodore Hammer.
Commodore Hammer, yeah, you could get like I'm thinking like the anchor and the sword like crossed. Maybe the anchor and then the sword perpendicular.
Ooh, she can put that on my paw beans, like on the paw pad.
Beans, yeah. No, it's super cute. You can also get like one on one side, one on the other. What do you think, Ben?
I was thinking about getting just a hammer.
The hammer. Oh yeah. Oh, I like it.
Oh yeah, because who I killed,
excellent.
and then a Yeah, I'm gonna do a hammer. Yeah, you're good. I'm gonna get a hammer on the arm, and then I think I'm gonna get the dragon skull on the back.
Solid.
Yeah.
Excellent. It takes her a couple hours. The dragon skull in particular is a little uncomfortable as she goes across the spine. Wait, when you say on your back, do you mean like shoulder or like center back or?
Oh, like just in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. Roll a Constitution save for me. Let's see
Oh,
how
no.
Ark handles his tats.
Oh. Oh no!
His scales are too hard.
Casca has never
What?
tattooed scales. Like she's hitting like harder than she should, and like you feel like okay, like she'll put it on the scale, but when she hits, it doesn't dig in like it does to flesh. It slides and like rams in between your scales, and you feel a prick, and it's very uncomfortable. And she's almost like frustrated, like, and the more frustrated she gets, the harder she hits. So it's uncomfortable. You are, I mean, you keep it together. You don't break out in tears or anything, but oh man, you're gonna feel that in the morning. And
Then that
next
one,
morning.
damn.
And the next morning.
Keep the lotion on it. Ooh.
Yeah, get some fucking, what's the tattoo goo?
God, yeah, right.
Does tell you, Goldbrand, you have slain many enemies that have warranted branding. You have slain Chief Wormblood. You have slain of a, not a specter, what's the word I'm looking for? A remnant of Arvandil, and of Urza. You have slain Jasper and Azazel and the dragon, of course, as well as any giants that you have slain of note. I was trying to remember who did the killing blow on which giants. I know Bergen got Storvold and Davos got Stone Giant. The Hill Giant you guys let get eaten by pigs. So that leaves Fire, which was incinerated, and Cloud, which was incinerated by Felgalis. So I guess Bergen and Davos are the only two who actually get the giant skulls.
Yeah, skulls. It's like we've all killed quite a few like regular giants. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
What would Goldbrand...
This is just another day for Goldbrand. I think he would just go get his ink and
Roll a Constitution save with advantage, because you have had these done since you were 12.
Goldbrand just waits his turn and, you know,
Yep.
19.
gets his tattoos.
You don't quite, so she adds to many of your sleeves. And last session I said that you had a scythe in your arm from Jasper. I'm not sure if I necessarily like that representation, because it feels against what most of the tribe's style is. So, if you have any thoughts of what you would like those to be. For, some she recommends things, like for Urza she recommends a bear skull. For Arvandil, a constellation. For Wormblood, the skull of a worm, which is, not a worm as in, you know, wiggling in the ground. Well, I guess it is. Think like Dune worm, like,
purple worm.
Yeah.
Big worm. No, I got you. He would take whatever, because that's what he's probably always done.
Shy Halou, baby.
Yeah, go with whatever she decides. Jasper, I can't think of. He was an Iron Ring agent, right?
Yes.
Could they do like a broken iron ring or a broken ring? I guess you couldn't tell. It was...
Absolutely. In the same style she does the broken links on Gideon's band around his arm, she does something similar for you, as well as the other emblems. And you see, now that you guys are looking at Goldbrand and looking at this, while from a distance it appears to be like all tribal lines, there is a mosaic of tattoos that are sort of built within this. Some from Uthgardt that he has slain, some from enemies outside the tribe he has slain. Some that show him as a star keeper and a first claw. Some that show him as
I was about to say, I
as
imagine
married to a
has,
chieftain.
Yeah, probably one whole arm and maybe a lot of his shoulder and chest is all way before he became star keeper. He has like 20-something years of history of first claw, and who knows how much body space that would take before the star keeper stuff started.
And it does lead to both arms looking, while they look, again, similar from a distance, as you get closer, this side is made mostly of constellations and different alignings, while this one is more the curving tribal style lines. It's beautiful, in a way. Pandora, you are welcome to get anything on your toe beans, I guess, that you would like.
On my bean.
Anything you want in particular?
I liked the idea of the anchor and his fucking sword or whatever crossed over.
Okay. So she does, and you want it on your toe bean? Do you have
on my,
toe bean? How do you
Yes,
work, Barbara?
the palm beam, like the palm.
Palm
She's
beam.
got like normal. She's got like normal paws. They just kind of move. It's furry logic, okay?
Okay, yeah, of course. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I was
she did.
curious, like, as far as your
It's
character,
Khajiit rules, man.
are there
Yeah.
any areas of thin fur? Because you'd be able to see tattoos through that as long as it wasn't.
Oh
thin.
no,
That's fair.
she's a snow leopard. She's real plush.
Yeah, she's thicky.
Okay.
Yeah, real
Big
thick, real
AF.
fluff.
She takes your hand and she's like, "Oh my goodness, it's so fucking soft." And she like pokes it and like, "You're sure you want to do this? I've never done this before. You know, it did not go so well with your scaly friend. This looks easier. This looks closer to what I'm used to, but last chance to get out."
It might as well be skin. It's okay.
Oh, dude. I have a
You
natural
tell-
AC of 15. It's like, you're not going to tattoo me.
So, Barbara, she takes your palm and begins the, she does them at an angle to where it's like the shaft of the anchor and then the curve at the bottom of the anchor intersects with the sword. And just like the weapons themselves, a chain link from the top of the anchor goes up to meet a plume of water coming out of the hilt of the sword, almost making like a figure 8. And she places it on your hand and, roll a con save for me. Let's see how Oh, you already did it. 12.
Brendo.
You wince a good bit. You know, it's not. You don't. Again, don't bust out in tears. But you. This is not
Because my
fun.
beans are so sensitive and soft.
Yeah.
They're for love,
Don't
honey.
beans.
These beans were made to love.
These beans are made for walking. You guys also. Oh, I will extend one more time. Bergen, anything you would like to get, my dude?
Bergen's body is a temple.
What? Body's
Oh,
a temple.
Get some stained glass in it, man.
I love fucking yells and shit, dog.
I'm just
What
picturing like
yells, man.
I'm just
Get
picturing like
Michelangelo to paint the ceiling.
a stained glass ember across his back, like a stained glass
Ooh.
phoenix.
I want that IRL
Yeah, I'm good.
shit.
We need to get this man a shield with that on it.
That sounds sassy. Damn.
It does.
All
Fucking soul, man.
right. Bergen's like, maybe. You guys finished your tattoo session.
Did she
yeah.
go ahead and do my arm? If not, I was trying to be polite and let everybody else go. Like, I'm down to just make my dude sit there and do
I mean,
the work. But
For this, I'm not really taking too, like, obviously a real sleeve
yeah.
IRL would take several sessions, several days. But you can get the sleeve, and we'll say that canonically it's there. She does the flames across the top of your shoulder. She does the cycle of the moon underneath that, a full moon here, and then fading out into waxing and waning gibbous. And then beneath that, there's the wolf skull on this side. Is there anything else you want to add to that before she starts doing just a tribal sleeve?
I think I probably want to get the dragon skull below it and then just let her do the rest of it on the
Excellent.
back side.
Dragon skull on one side, wolf skull on the other. Roll another con save for me. In fact, roll 2 because this is a pretty big piece.
Nice.
Plus 8 to con.
Yeah, I rolled exactly a 22 again.
Fantastic.
There
Do
we
one more.
go. Ooh, a little lower.
Well, so she's going, and
hard.
you're doing really well. You're keeping this stoic composition that you kept even for the start of your fight with Seiko. But when she gets to about the elbow, she like hits that little bone right there, and like it like rattles you a bit, and you wince a bit, and you know you're a little jumpy after that, but you act like a champ through it.
That's accurate, by the way. This is the worst thing that's ever happened in my entire life. I don't think I'll let anybody touch my other elbow. Straight up. And I looked at him and was like, "Hey, are you almost done?" And he was like, "Yeah, I promise I'm almost done." And he was not. I was very upset.
That's what he's like. I say that to everybody. 2 minutes into a session, yeah, you're almost done, buddy. Excellent. You guys have some new ink. Got some new street cred in the Uthgardt and outside of the tribe. You guys are making your way back up to the town when Saphyne waves you down and goes, "Well, boys, I've got some good news and some bad news. What would you like first?"
Bad news.
Yeah, give me the bad news.
Well, the bad news is Akihk, the pyrokinetic elf that you saved from Iron Slag. It does not appear that she is a descendant of the Ruby Dragon. That appears to be rumor, if I had to guess. But the good news is, with her unique skill set, Saphyne has taken an interest in her, and is sort of helping her get a better degree of control of her abilities. So, before too long, she'll be a powerful ally with a unique skill set. Also, Goldbrand, while you were gone, Tabitha was asking about you. I
Right.
think she's up by the graveyard if you'd like to speak with her.
Do you know what she wants? I don't know that we've ever spoken before.
She shakes her head. No, just said that something she needed to speak with you about.
I can vouch for her. She's fine.
Grumble, grumble, grumbles, grumble, grumble, grumble. But
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
yeah, he just grumbles.
Yeah. You make your way up to the graveyard and find Tabitha there, tending to the graves as she did in Waterdeep and as she's happy to do here. And the graveyard has grown since you've came, obviously. It used to be just this little patch of graves behind the temple, right here. And afterward, added on another graveyard at the top just due to the massive number of deaths that had happened within Nightstone. And it's beautiful. You find different plants that grow here. You see nightshade, you see deathspell, you see watercress, and various beautiful plants that, while not bright and vibrant flowers like you would, typically think of in graveyards, are beautiful in their own way. And when she sees you approaching, she rises to her feet and, thank you, Goldbrand, for meeting with me. I've got something that I'm not quite sure to say. You know, obviously, that I commune with the spirits and have a very strong sense for souls and auras and things of this nature. And when you came back from Skullport, I couldn't help but notice there was a stain upon your aura. A dark spot. Something I'm not really certain I've seen before. And I wanted to take a closer look, but you boys seemed rather busy with your work down in the tribe and jumping into a whirlpool in the middle of town.
That's what we do.
If you'd like, I could take a closer look at it.
That's interesting. Goldbrand relays to her what they found out about, like he can't hit. Amerigo. And would end that with, if you think you can get rid of it, please do it. We hope he is dead, but if not, I would like to be able to kill him.
She lights a few candles, begins singing a dirge, as she burns an incense and a censer, and you watch as you're sitting there for quite a while as she's doing all this, and almost without there's no instant where you see it, but you begin to notice this glow about you, quite like your magic, like starlight, not quite one color, sort of gleaming and so faint, almost translucent, but just enough to where you can notice it. And she goes, "No, I know of Amerigo. I've lived in Waterdeep all my life and heard many rumors from down in Skullport, particularly from the nobles of my family. He was rumored to have pacts with very dark forces. Had to wager, a part of this pack was that anyone who purchased one of his slaves was claimed by his patron. Perhaps bound for the Nine Hells, or Shadowfell, or some other realm. Bergen, make a religion check for me. You guys are lingering in the area, I imagine. 16. Oh, that's a little short, but it sounds familiar. It's something obviously very sinister to claim souls in that way, but the way in which it's claiming them because they committed such a heinous sin. And it reminds you of an old tale you heard back at the Temple of Helm. A dark god known as Merkel, one of the Dead Three, as it were. And also in that trio is Bane, the enemy who is currently leading the forces marching towards you, or whose chosen warrior is leading the army. And Tabitha goes, "That does sound like something in his arsenal. Before Merkel was a immortal force of death, he was a ruthless and greedy man. An adventurer, like yourselves, alongside Bane and Baal. The three did incredible things across this planet, some heroic, others horrendous, but all in the pursuit of more wealth and more power. It was never a matter of good and evil, but of self-service. After years of such deeds, the trio became to possess information that allowed them to track down an ancient force, one of the 7 lost gods, ancient primordials that had been lost to time. And in a blow felt across the realms, they slew that lost god. As its soul arrived within the underworld, the god of the dead at the time, Yergel, he was impressed with their ruthlessness, and so impressed that he willingly bestowed the three with his dark powers, equally divided. Bane became a force of terror and loathing. Baal, a lord of murder and ruin. And Miracle, the lord of the underworld. But Miracle became greedy in his role, always seeking to send more souls to his realm. And this sounds like one of the ways he would go about doing it. If I had to guess, Amerigo likely owes him for whatever powers that Merkel bestowed to him, and this was his way of payment. Now, I hate to say it, but I don't know how to take this off. This is not a spell or a curse, but a god's claim to your soul. And the only thing that can trump that is another god. Now, I know that the Uthgardt obviously follow Uthgardt, but if he had the initial claim to your soul, and Merkel has overridden that, whatever this dark mark is, I'm afraid I don't know how to guide you to get rid of it. But at least you know what it is, and why it's there.
It sounds like he'll have to fight Uthgardt for my soul to get it. I don't think that would go well for him.
I wouldn't... Gods don't work quite that directly anymore. And if you'll have to, in some way, advance through Uthgard's eyes to where you're worth more to him than you are to Baal. Excuse me, to Merkel. I don't know the best way to do that, but if you feel like you're doing your god's will, you must be on the right track.
I'm not gonna say that since I don't know. Golbrand was gonna say something snarky about Uthgardt, but I guess he won't. In light of what he just yeah, in light of what he just heard, he's like, alright, fine. I ain't doing this for Uthgardt. I'm doing this because I don't want the fucking world to end.
That's fair. One and the same, neither does Uthgardt. Right. You guys leave the graveyard, and you're talking about your plans to make your way to Yatar. And Davos has got that golden token in his hands. He's just looking at it, flipping it over. Just as you guys are discussing the travel that you'll take there, what you plan to, the fact that you know that aboard this ship is going to be at least, well, that are likely going to be several members of the Kraken Society that you're going to have to be aware of. And as you're looking at this token, Fogelus exits the Nightstone Inn, sees you guys, and goes, "Oh, off to the Grand Dame, are we, boys? Well, and lady, pardon me."
Apparently. I'm not sure what the casino is, or exactly a boat's, but yes. Have you been there? Can we just walk in?
Several times, though. It's kind of a ritzy place, you know? High-end gamblers and all that. They're like you there. Lords with more coin than sense. I mean, no offense. The bartender there was always a really nice fellow. What was his name? Akihk? Something. Damn good drinks. He's a satyr, you know. They take their booze rather seriously. I can appreciate that to the people. Tell you what, But yeah, I've been there a time or two. You know, I do enjoy my games of chance. It's owned by the Lord of the town, I believe. What's his name? Yeah, with a K. Kevin. No, not Kevin. That's stupid. Kavarn. No. What's it? S in it? Casper. Casper. Lord Casper Dryland. Yes, that's it. Lord Casper Dryland.
Why don't I like that? Oh.
Why don't you like that?
I don't know. Alarm bells started going off, and I don't know why.
They
I
should.
don't like
That's a hint
that.
for somebody, and I don't know if they're going to pick it up. Anyone who wants to can make a history check.
Yes. You say Casper?
Casper. Yeah. Why does
Lord Casper with a K, Dryland.
Why does that make alarm bells go off, Spencer?
It's not ringing any for me, I don't think.
Don't think you guys have heard the name before. Anybody else with a history check? Going once. Going twice.
Yeah, intelligence is my dump stat, so no thank you.
Same. Go, Brendan.
I
Look at
mean,
this.
you might roll high.
Eh.
The highest is a 14, so
You know what?
You
Fuck
know,
it. Let's
relax
see. Let's
There we
by,
go.
you know.
there we
16.
go. I'm gonna say Goldbrand doesn't get this for reasons. But Ark, Lord Casper Dryland, Lord Casper Dryland, LKD. LKD are the initials that were written next to Avalon in Lord Armand Hammer's.
Ooh, they were.
Well, shit.
They
It
were.
seems- and granted, this could be complete coincidence, but it seems as if she was sold to Lord Casper Dryland.
Hey, I've
Go
found less
fuck
information.
The Belgalus goes, no, he's a real creepy bloke. He's got an octopus that always rides around on him. It's very unsettling. Weird little pupils just staring at you, curled
A
up on
dinner.
his shoulder. It's
That's it.
ugh.
He owns.
Yeah,
he owns.
Yeah,
He
he
owns
bought the
this
cat
boat.
girl. He bought the cat girl. The
Oh
cat
no!
monster.
Oh no!
Mhm.
Oh boy.
I've
I'm
seen this
in
east guy.
danger.
He owns the boat.
Well, he's the lord of the town, and I believe the boat does dock there. I'm not quite sure if he owns the ship itself, but I'd wager he has a pretty good say in its operations. No, it's pretty far away up north. They wouldn't let you bring any of that stuff you've got on. You know, your axes, your scythes, or is that a fucking anchor you've got there? Shit.
I made it.
Well, they won't allow any of those weapons on, or your armor for that matter. But then again, your fancy elven shit, that myrtle, that might be able to slide right under your uniform, your clothes without being noticed, eh?
I say you mentioned Ritzy, and then I'm like, is there a tailor in this town? I'm looking for a nice.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
there is a tailor. We got him out of a giant's bag.
Oh yeah.
Do y'all remember Chief Guh, the fat ass fucking hill giant, and like a goblin pried its way out of her fat rolls like once y'all pinned her down? That's my book, and I was just like, oh god, that poor creature. No, yes, you guys do have a tailor, Alistair Noggins. I think he's currently down in the southeast part of the square. And for, I think, everyone except our 3 newcomers, you have nice clothes that he made for you for the ball at Waterdeep.
Ooh,
But
so I get
the three of you newcomers can certainly have something made. Devin subtracts, we'll say 25 gold apiece, 75 gold from the bag of holding. And he makes rather exquisite clothes. Would you guys like to request anything? We'll start with Josh. Anything you had in mind? Colors or form or shape or...
I'm thinking like well, my skin's gray, so I don't want to go too gray. My skin's like a charcoal gray, so I'm thinking like a very bright gray.
Okay.
Suit pants, and then I want a coat, but instead of having a vest, I'm gonna ask for some suspenders.
Very classic. Excellent. No, he does get you a very fine. The pants are very finely pressed. They have very crisp edges. Fit well. They're very comfortable. They have pockets. Holy shit! You know, in a world where most people don't have pockets, you have pockets. The coat's rather nice. Not too snug, but it fits your form well. Suspenders serve their purpose and add a bit of He actually. So the suspenders are the same gray color, but there's like he's sewn in sort of this reddish orange yellow mixture of thread that sort of matches the flames on your hair. And there, you notice that like the suit, like the angular part that comes out from the side is also and bordered with that same type of coloring. Very nice. There's ruby cufflinks. I mean, it's a very fine suit. Pandora, what do you feel like you got going on? What do you request?
Okay, so I'm gonna have a really bougie, like very sparkly dress. It's gonna be that kind of like soft aqua color that her ribbon is, because it's got to match.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I guess like the 70s like flapper girl kind of style, but like
Okay.
gotta have. I want it to have like cleavage, like because it can't be too classy. But mostly you don't really see a whole lot because it is just fur. But don't tell Pandora that.
No, yeah. I will also say, since we're requesting this now, your sister obviously is identical to you. If she has been purchased by Lord Casper Dryland, who may or may not be on the ship, people might recognize her, and by proxy recognize you. So this might be an opportunity to either conceal some features or make yourself appear slightly different.
Well, maybe I could get away with the dress, but having like an extremely extravagant like hooded cloak over it that kind of matches, so it doesn't look out of place or anything.
Get a veil.
Ooh, yes.
Your Kentucky Derby hat.
Nice.
Well,
there you go.
Fantastic.
Flapper girls did have like a lot of like that weird like over their nose, like they had a lot of gaudy drapes.
Yeah.
So
the dress itself is beautiful. This baby blue aqua color, and it seems like it's got this shimmer to it, to where it just shifts through several different colors of blue. It's gorgeous. At the bottom of it, there's a bit of lace beneath. It's not quite like a poof skirt like you would have at a ball, but it does have a little bit of volume to it. Your tail is long enough to where it could peek out of the back, but if you needed to, you could keep it within.
Make it look like an accessory, like a mink or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's clever. It's also got a not a bodice. I guess a bodice is the right word.
Yeah.
Corset is the word I was looking for.
Yes.
A corset, obviously, add to the bosom. And then you've got the veil that's sort of this shimmery silver blue material. And if you ask him, he's like, it's actually silk from ice spiders. It's rather rare. I've crafted it myself. Extracted it. And it's got this sort of sheen to it, to where everything outside looks kind of misty. But thankfully, from the outside, it's the same effect on you. Your features are not very sharp, not very recognizable.
Man knows how to treat a lady.
Comes down just to about and he also takes, when you tell him you're trying to hide a bit, he adds elements to where like there's a sleeve and there's a glove, and in between there's like a flesh-colored sleeve that would make it appear as if you were a human or elf or some typical race, to make you a little more passable for not a tabaxi. He also leaves your blue bow, and actually it gets accessorized with a line of small blue jewel sapphires.
Ooh.
That he actually like where the center part of the bow is, he actually wraps two bands around that, to where it just adds a pop of that deep blue against that soft blue, and catches the light. It's rather lovely. Ark, what you thinking, man?
All right, here's what I'm thinking. The Ark is a pirate. He grew up on a pirate ship.
Indeed.
So, I'm thinking of the gaudiest pirate you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, God.
I think Captain Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. He's got a long red velvet jacket, poofy collar. You know what I mean?
Excellent.
And
got,
the
like, gold
biggest
trim on it and shit.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest pirate's captain's hat you've seen with the longest feather ever.
Yeah, it's funny. He's making the hat, and like first he puts in like a falcon's feather, and you're like, no, that's not enough. And then he comes back with like a condor feather, and he's like, no. And then Griselda, that old ass woman in the camp, comes up with a fucking rock feather like 3 feet long.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the fucking one. It's sharp. I mean, it's got polished brass buttons. It's got it's like, instead of a hilt on your side, it's like a gold ring, and your sword fits right through that, as well as your anchor on the other side. Which does bring to the, well, we'll get to that in a second. You guys look sharp. All of you and the rest of the lords don their clothes they purchased for the ball. Each of you feel a little more confident, a little more bold. Each of you pick one of your charisma-based abilities. So, for example, deception, persuasion,
Persuasion.
trying to,
Ooh, yeah.
I think intimidation.
Yeah, I'm picking intimidation.
Give me one
Because I
second.
already have like super proficiency in that anyway.
I'm gonna double check this just to make sure I get this.
Performance is one too.
No performance.
Oh, come on. Where the fuck is my goddamn... I know I did this. I know it's in here somewhere. Each of you pick one of those skills, and you're going to get a perk to it. I think it's advantage. It might be better than that, actually, but I can't find my note for it right now, because I didn't expect y'all to get new clothes. This is just a fun little side quest. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, so we're just going to skip it for now. Each of you pick one of those abilities. Remember it, because you're going to get advantage on all checks of that kind while you're wearing this outfit.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's not a permanent thing, but while you guys are in this, all
Right.
the clothes are made to where they're loose enough to where with your mithril armor, mithril and dragon scale technically, but you could put that on under your clothes to where the armor is concealed.
Oh yeah.
You do know that your weapons might be a problem, but you've got some time to figure that out.
I was gonna say,
Fine,
I
I'm fine
can
with
put
it.
some shit under my cloak.
I have retractable claws, so I can do slashing damage with my melee, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
He also has
Arc
I
have
think.
pockets.
Arc does have pockets, yeah.
Okay. As a quick slide bonus action, I'm gonna create some magic stones and just slip them into his pocket and say, "Keep these safe for later," and pat it.
Yeah.
I got you.
Technically, I think that spell only lasts a minute.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
not 100% on that,
and
but
it
we can
was
say
for
you do it right
flavor.
before you guys walk on the boat. But then again, minute. All right, you guys load up on the ship. It is about a 2-day flight northward. I was going to let Brandon and Devin decide if they wanted to do any prescience or scrying.
Is there anybody that we want Davos to scry on? Besides maybe the Zentarum.
You do know somewhere back home there's a traitor. Or not back home, excuse me. Somewhere back in Maelstrom there's a traitor. You could try to scry on one of them.
What is
Maybe we
scry?
can see if Avalon's on the ship or not.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
He could scry for Avalon. He hasn't met her, but he's seen what she looks like, so...
Because I
Yeah,
look
yeah.
identical.
Yeah,
Fitting image.
I would say there might be... He might not get the full have seen her perk, but I'll give at least half of it.
Tell her she's there. Or not.
Scry, to answer your question, Josh, is they can kind of look at they can hear conversation, correct, and see the surrounding area of somebody, whoever they pick, depending
For up
on
to 10 minutes.
just to spy on people as well.
That's a good point. So you could do that, or I guess one of the counselors in the Storm Giants, whatever layer, to see maybe what they're doing. 'Cause they were still a little sus while we were talking to them or around them.
It sounds like he has a couple of days. Can he do both of those?
I was only gonna let you do each one.
Okay.
So, you guys make your pick.
Doesn't matter, Moo. We have to take a trip back, so we can do Avalon this time if we want. See if she's with that dude.
Because we're
Yeah,
heading that
since
direction,
we're on the
makes
way.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to make a save. And I'm just gonna double check my DC here. He has not met her. He has seen an image of her likeness. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Oh! What am I doing? I get my big D20. Oh, it didn't fail. Fuck.
That's a pleasant sound.
Okay, that's not bad. Isn't it, though? I love it.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Okay, Davos spends his day on the deck looking into the crystal ball. And about 10-15 minutes after he starts, the sun catches the glass just right to where it glares in his eye. And as his vision wides out, his vision comes to on a ship. A familiar ship. Within the clouds. And he sees Pandora on the ship what is Pandora doing on this trip, Barbara?
What, on our trip right now?
Yeah, just this random moment that he's just checking. He's trying to find your sister. He finds you instead. What are you doing at the moment?
Okay, she's kind of like off back, out of sight, obviously somewhere. But she's got her big fluffy tail in her paws, and she's just kind of licking it, and then kind of
Give herself a bath.
starts backing up a hairball.
Excellent. He missed his DC by 2, and I thought I couldn't find her. We'll throw something fun in there for him. So he comes out. It's a bust for the day, but did find out thinks he can try to find her based on Pandora. The night comes. Golbrand, do you want to do Prescience?
Goldberg wants to know if a moot is required to preserve the path.
If a moot is required to preserve the path. Okay.
Valid question.
How many hits you taken?
We have one night. I think I can take 2, which would give me advantage and +2, which gives me +4 total because of the axe.
Okay.
31.
31. Excellent. You're going to see a couple of things. In fact, since you asked about the moot, you see the vastness of the ocean. Something you witnessed from the shore once, but from your current location, you are within the ocean. If you look every direction, 360, there is not any land in sight. You are on a ship, not your airship, a seafaring vessel. And you feel that it's almost disorienting. The prescience itself is a disorienting process, but you feel sort of the toss and the turn of the ship as you're doing this, and it's almost a little nauseating as your vision flashes again. And you see a series of these islands that are 70, 100 feet off the ground. It's as if this used to be a mountain range, and across thousands of years, the sides of the mountains eroded until what was the peak and the core of the mountain is the only thing that remains. Separated from each other, possibly by hundreds of feet, maybe even miles. But a series of these odd cliffs with jungles atop them. Thick, dense, green wood. With a 31, you see something... a glimpse of something. Make a make a perception check for me. Fuck you, Fly. 19. It almost looks like a wyvern. Huge. Reptilian? Flying? Not a dragon. Bigger than Ark's wyvern. A long, sharp beak. You're unsure, you've never seen anything like this. Your vision flashes again, and you see roll another perception check for me, actually.
Oh boy. 17.
17, okay. You see Uthgardt that are unfamiliar to you. You do not recognize their tattoos, their markings, which is not uncommon. Some of these tribes that you've met that have been, who roam different areas than the Blue Bears, you've never encountered in your lifetime, but you're uncertain as to exactly who they are in this dense wooded place. And your final vision comes to you. A sleuth fire, where Hydia leads 12 other chiefs. This, you know for certain, is a moot. This is the formal gathering of the tribes, and has happened in the past, sometimes against hordes of roaming orcs, sometimes against dragons or giants that in the distant past had become issues, before all of the giants went crazy. This is not something that has happened maybe once or twice in your lifetime in the last 50 years. It is not a common occurrence. And it has certainly not happened in the last couple of decades. You gather that a moot will come, but perhaps not in the way you're expecting it. As you come back to on the deck of the Westwind Wyvern. Josh, make a wisdom save for me.
What?
You heard me. Roll low for my sake.
Ooh, roll high, buddy.
You're welcome.
Oh, damn.
no.
Josh, as you rest within your quarters on the Westwind Wyvern, you dream. It's indistinct at first, rushing images, but you realize that you're running through the woods at night, moonlight guiding your path, weaving through the forest, leaping over streams and rivers in a single bound.
Shia LaBeouf.
You realize you're on all fours. You come to a familiar sight. A quaint village along the cliffsides of the Craigs. This is your home. But instead of the comfort you would expect from seeing this, you feel a brewing rage. You throw your head back and let loose a chilling howl, and several others join you. You see as panicked fire genasi peer from their homes in terror. Many of them take up weapons or pepper your pack with measly bolts of flame, but as your pack descends upon the genasi with the fervor of their hunger, their weapons struggle to pierce your thick hides, and the flames are no matter of consequence. Practically little more than scorch marks. You watch as your own people have slaughtered, and your mouth waters. A man with a sword charges at you, hair ablaze, face contorted in fury. But even in this anger, you recognize your father's face anywhere. You slash across his chest and tear into his throat, and you taste the warm iron of your own father's blood. You raise your head to howl victoriously, and you see the horrified expression of your own face, which swiftly contorts into fury as well, and erupts in this immolating flames. You bolt upright, in your bed, drenched in sweat and disoriented within your quarters. You still taste blood, and you find that there is actually blood in your mouth. It would appear that you bit the tip of your tongue off in this nightmare.
Oh, damn.
And you realize that the spirit of the wolf within you is Seiko's wolf spirit. You just had a memory that was not yours, but was a memory of the wolf on the worst night of your life. Do you do or react in any way?
I think I'm gonna go. Are we over land right now, or are we?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I think I'm just gonna go get some fresh air, stand at sort of the railing of the ship, and just sort of look down at the ground as we cross over it.
You go up to the deck, and you see just the faintest sliver of the moon. You know that the new moon was 2 days ago,
Oh.
and in 9 more, it'll be full.
8 more after this.
8 more after this. You feel this gnawing sense of dread in your gut. And you find sleep difficult. You do not find rest for the rest of the night. You're not exhausted or anything, but you're far from feeling your best. With that, it is the second day aboard the ship. Captain Tajin tells you it will be a few more hours until you're there. He thinks sometime in the afternoon, maybe the evening, depending on how the wind goes. You have some time if you guys would like to do anything or interact with anyone. or ask any questions of your fellow party members.
So is it noticeable that Z's missing the tip of his tongue now?
He talks with a little bit of a lisp. Just a little bit.
Can I ask if a cat's
A
on
little
his
bit.
tongue?
Oh, God.
Meow.
Burger's just gonna prep spells and pray.
Okay. Being a good cleric.
Oh, I need to prep some spells too. I'm glad you said that. Colburn will spend a little bit of time prepping spells.
Okay.
Sharpen my
Guys?
claws.
You guys can also choose to, if you would like, to talk about who you think the traitor is in the court. You know, there's 5 possible suspects. And for simplicity's sake, look, I'll put this here just so you have images. And if you would like to make notes beneath them, you are welcome to. But these are the 5 named giants that you feel are in positions of enough power or have meaningful motivation to potentially be the traitor. Do you guys have any thoughts?
No thoughts, head empty.
Same.
Yeah.
Devin Benzie?
I recall, it was the counselors that suggested that she take the throne early, correct?
Correct. Both of them seem to, for their own reasons, Imperator Uthor seemed to be of the mindset that if Serissa were to take the throne, she could use the power with it to defeat whatever is holding her father captive.
And
Imelda,
also,
go ahead.
also that would kill the original Storm King. So I'm suspecting of him.
No, it seems Serissa's the one who has that idea, that if she takes the throne, becomes Storm Queen, she gets all of the divine power that comes with that, and her father would lose it. She thinks it's the only thing keeping him alive. But
Arcanox has no reason to think otherwise.
No, for sure.
I think it's him.
I agree. If she sits on it, we can probably assume that's going to murk him. I guess we have to assume he's still alive. I guess they would know if he wasn't.
There's no way to know for sure. I think Serissa had a little bit of a throwaway line about this, where she said that she felt when her mother died, and she hasn't felt that with her father. The presence that he has, she thinks he's still out there. And true, you know, when Queen Neri died, they found a body. They have not found a corpse for Hecaton. They have no... Other than the fact that he's missing, they don't have any confirmation that he's dead. Oh, and actually, you guys... Actually, I'm backing up because you guys hacked some information early on in the campaign. You guys know he is chained to a ship controlled by Slackerthel somewhere in the water on the planet.
Interesting.
Yeah, the fact that Serissa gave us a clue and seems to care whether or not her father dies makes me think either she's very good at the double play or she's probably not really suspicious. She had no reason to give us a clue as to where to look next, but she...
Yeah, she is the ruling person right now. I feel like if she were behind it, I'm not sure that we wouldn't have left there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
have
you're
good
right.
information on her sisters either. They mostly were just either quiet or angry about everything for unknown reasons.
Same.
And you do know their ages. You know that in most cultures, the oldest would take the throne.
And she's the youngest.
She is the youngest.
Why?
Davos might even, so, bards, we go to college, sort of. I didn't really go to college. Some dude taught me how to play the guitar. But anyway, in colleges, they let you read books. And one of these books is a play called King Schmear. And in King Schmear, he has 3 daughters. And they're all... 2 of the daughters are actually working against the 3rd daughter. Because the 3rd daughter actually loves her father, but she won't appeal to his ego. And so the other 2 suck up to him, and they try to get the throne. So I don't know if like the youngest one sucked up to him, or if the older one sucked up to him, or like if this is anything to do with King Schmear. But you know, that's what I've got to contribute.
You just shortened your life by like 10 years. I've moved the clock back 10 years.
Bring it. It's true though. This campaign is loosely based on King Lear, the upper level concept of it anyway. All right. Unless you guys have anything else you want to mention, or
You were going to say something about Imelda that I didn't hear.
me?
I thought so.
No.
It was a couple of minutes ago. Never mind.
Imelda was the one who was most surprised when you mentioned Slackerthel.
She also agreed though that Serissa needs to take the throne, right? Both of her counselors.
Sarissa's motivations might not be her reasoning for Serissa taking the throne was to put an end to all the other chaos of the giants. If the giants keep causing havoc, they're going to be killed off by the small folk and the dragons, etc., and that will weaken their forces overall. If they allow indecision to paralyze the power of their court, for lack of a better word, these people will thin out their numbers until they may not be as powerful a force as they were. So her and Imperator Uthor agree Serissa should take the throne, but does not seem to be for the same reason.
I don't feel like I can easily point fingers. I do have some questions about Uthor, his motivations. Specifically, I think you said he's the leader of their military forces. I gotta wonder,
Indeed.
like, does that also mean a personal guard? How is the king even allowed to be taken under his watch, right? That's, I don't know. I'm thinking
so this is stuff that the party knew before, but I will fill sort of retro. The reason that all this happened, the Storm Giant Queen Neri, one of the few giants who actually likes the small folk, who believes them to be good at heart and intelligent enough to where they can be communicated with, bargained with, allied with. And she made it, she frequently visited the small folk. One day she didn't come back. They searched for her and found her on a particular beach that she frequented. Found her body. She was slain by small folk. Small weapons, many small tracks of footprints in humans, or humanoid, I should say. And Hecaton, enraged by this, as soon as he heard the news, left his court and stormed his way all the way to her. Now, no one is quite certain what happened once he got there, but he never returned. He was presumably captured, drawn out by the murder of his wife, and the party learned that he is captive on a ship that this entity, Slackerthel the Kraken of the Deep, is commanding, for lack of a better word. So he was not in the court when he was abducted, per se. Oh, whoops.
Okay. I don't know. He's still sussy.
They're all a little sussy. The oldest one's an asshole. She might think she's entitled to the throne. There was an odd little throwaway line Zephyros told you about the middle one, where she was quiet but very intelligent, tactful. Would have made an excellent. She's an excellent chess player. They all got their own little, Serissa shouldn't have the throne. Did she do this to get a rule for power? Did somebody else put her in the throne so she would fail? Did they do it so that they could manipulate her? There's all sorts of sussy shit. You guys spend most of your day talking about the potential traitors among the court. And eventually, Kaya whistles and points off the bow. You all head to the front of the ship where you see the city of Yatar, which is set within... I'll actually change your map real quick. It's set within the point where two rivers meet and the bridge of the Tradeway, one of the largest roads in Faerun, crosses over. You guys go to look about the center of the continent. We are looking right here. Bloop. East of the Sword Coast, this town right here, Yatar. The city, oh shit. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, the tradeway runs up to one side of the river, and there's a massive wooden drawbridge, perhaps 20 feet wide, that reaches a full 30 or so feet up once it's pulled to its upward position. And the walls of the city are built on embankments and silt deposits that are within this weird delta. It's larger than you thought, perhaps larger than Daggerford, but not so big as Waterdeep. Definitely significantly bigger than Nightstone. And there's actually a second layer of walls inside the city where there is a shining keep, decorated in gold and surprisingly brazen, considering how much of the town looks like it's worse for wear. Within the dock of this town is a massive boat, 250 feet from keel to stern, and at least 40 feet across, 3 levels tall, and is currently covered in dazzling lights. Greens, purples, yellows, oranges. Did that post? Okay, let me, side note. These 4 images, there's no images of the Grand Dame in the adventure. These are 4 AI-generated boats, riverboats, that I feel like kind of catch the vibe about what's going on here. So not exact renderings, but pretty close. You guys approach the docks, or land inside the city walls, and exit. You could head directly there. You could try to find some information about the Lord, the boat, or any of the people on the boat from the townspeople. You have a couple of options.
I want to know how we get on the boat before we do anything else. Can we just walk on there?
There seems to be a dock where you see several people dressed in fine clothes, wealthy individuals, you would gather. Some of them very well might be lords and ladies of several cities around you. All seem to be making their way onto a dock where there seems to be a woman with dark hair and not emerald, almost a light sage-colored robe with several jade serpents on it, and each of them have little beads where their eyes are. And she seems to be the one allowing people on the ship.
Do you want to go in there, or you want to go suss out any information first?
I would like to try and guarantee that we understand how to get on the ship versus just blindly walking up and being like, hey, can I take a ride on your boat?
You do know...
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do some recon.
Okay. There are several taverns within the town. You guys make your way into one and see that it's rather bustling. It's a little more on the evening side. It's probably 5, 6 o'clock. It is beginning to grow dark outside. Skies are currently filled with shades of pink and orange. There's quite a few people here, drinking off a hard day's work. You see orcs, humans, elves. With this particular city, a few dwarves, not a whole hell of a lot. Gnomes and the like. Bartender looks a little overworked, but well-fed. Who do you guys talk to? Or how do you choose to suss out this information?
Imagine if we buy a meal and some drink, the bartender might be willing to tell us what we're trying to figure out. If it's just trying to get on, how to get on the ship.
I mean, I could flirt with the bartender.
Worst case scenario, there'll be some lowlives at the bar somewhere.
Always right there.
We're kind of
Little-
stupid rich compared to general society, right? I don't know. Maybe just slap a couple extra gold pieces on the bar to make it, for good measure.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I mean, so probably not Goldbrand, but I might think anyone else could walk up there with a handful of coins and put them down on the table, and they would know.
Davos and Z are your 2 high charisma characters. Since Davos isn't here, I would say maybe Z lead the effort. You'll have a better chance of sussing out some info.
I'll go up there and order a round of drinks for me and my party.
He's more than happy to provide. He has a list of different ales from the various cities, and you each order, and he places a flagon in front of you all. All right there, sir. Can I get you anything else for the evening?
I think that's gonna be it for now. What do I owe you?
Oh, let's see. For the 6 drinks, that'll be 2 gold pieces, please.
Okay. So I kind of like sit down, and as I'm swirling the drink, I want to make it just like a little warm, almost like a little layer, a trickle of flame appears on the top of it just from the heat from the bottom of my hand. I'm gonna lay down two. I'm gonna lay down two more, and say I couldn't help but notice the fancy boat on my way in. What's the deal with that?
Oh, well, that would be the Grand Dame, sir. No, it's sort of our names. It's sort of our one of our more touristy features here in Yatar. It's a rather large vessel. Every day it sets sail down the River Dressian, makes its way down to Waterdeep. It leaves at dusk, arrives at dawn, and then in the morning they haul it back up here. Though, of course, if you've got the coin to throw around, you could always pay a teleporter to bring you back. It's rather ritzy, and seeing as all you are dressed to the nines, I imagine that you're looking to make or lose a fortune or two aboard.
Certainly hoping to make rather than lose. How do I get on board?
Well, it's relatively simple. I do see a few weapons at your side. They'll try to confiscate those unless you can leave them aboard your ship or cart or whatever you traveled here with. But no, it's open to the public. Usually the ritzier public, but you seem to have the coin to back up your stride.
Okay, I say easy enough, and then before I walk off, I kind of look over, and I ask, does anybody in here happen to have any experience sneaking a few weapons on board?
He goes, oh, well, that is quite a feat, sir. There is a Dragonborn. Well, he's not really a Dragonborn, but he's too lanky, too wild. If you ask me, I'd say he's a lizard folk. He lives down by the docks, and he's been known to slip a few things aboard for you. Of course, it'll cost you sharply. Then again, it's better that than trying to get by Ming. She's rather sharp and can cut through most people's bullshit rather quickly.
This Ming watches the doors.
Indeed, yes, she's the woman in green robes with dark hair down by the docks. She's follows the ship aboard, of course, once it leaves. She usually keeps an eye on things. Lord Dryland's head of security. There's also Captain Storm, the leader of the vessel, who should be the owner of the vessel. Casper Dryland may provide most of the clientele and the staffing, but Lord Storm is the one who actually pilots the ship down the river. It's quite a lovely ride. You can't see much in the night, of course, but you pass underneath the stone bridge and make your way all the way out to the sea.
How long is it out to sea?
It takes the whole night. It leaves at dusk, arrives at dawn. Probably about a 12-hour trip, maybe 10, and the whole day's done.
So you said a whole day?
A whole night,
I should say. Yeah.
Whole night.
Do you want to ask what he knows about Dryland? He's the mayor, right? Like he's
Lord,
the dude.
He's the Lord, yeah.
The Lord.
Yeah.
Does your Lord treat you well here?
Since Josh was the charisma character, Josh, make a persuasion check for me. Oh, I see. Arc wasted an at 20, you bastard.
Yeah, I know, right? Like the fuck. I'm just fucking around on the character sheet.
With a 20, he gets rather quiet and he goes, well, you need to be a little quieter with your voice there, lad. Lord Dryland is, an angry man, prone to fits of rage, excruciating headaches that sometimes leave him crippled for hours. Not the happiest fellow. Now, he's never done wrong by me, but taxes here are a bit steep, and it's difficult to not be resentful when you're looking up at a keep plated in gold. That ship is here for one reason. Because Lord Dryland knows he can make immense amounts of coins off of it. Now, I wouldn't, if we were democratic, I wouldn't be voting for the fella, but I wouldn't say that to too many people if you know what's good for you.
Yeah, I just kind of look over and I'm like, as a man of the people, picking up the cut of your jib, whatever fancy lingo I want to throw at him. I say, that's some pretty solid information. Since we seem to be on the same page about this man and whether we do or don't like him, would anybody around here have any dirt on him?
Well, I couldn't say too many people would have any, or I don't know anything in particular, nor anyone who would. I mean, there's rumors, of course. He's a bit of an odd fellow. He's always got that fucking octopus on his shoulder. Leaves a little unnerving. But I can't say I know anything worth knowing anyway.
We need to ask if he keeps like any concubines, or if he has a thing with ladies, or what company he keeps directly with him.
Okay. Oh well, no. Yes, there are several escorts aboard the ship who do provide their services. Now, Lord Dryland has been known to take himself a fancy to concubines who might happen to come and go. But I'm trying to decide how much this bartender would know about this particular subject. Now, I've never been aboard the Grand Dame myself, so I can't say I've had too much experience in that. I don't have the coin to waste, to be honest. But it's a rather fun time. Good drinks, good games, lots of entertainment. The food's good, what I hear anyway.
God, that sounds like me as a bartender when people asked about the casino.
I've never been, but I hear it's alright. Anything else I can get for you?
I kind of look back and I'm thinking, like, I don't think we're going to get much more out of this guy. I genuinely thank him so much for his time and the kind conversation, and I make sure that my comrades have the drinks that we ordered.
Yeah.
Thanks.
After finishing his drink, Goldbrand orders an extra shot and whatever lingo that would have been back then. And pays him double, because that's what he saw Z do.
He looks you up and down, and he pours you a shot. He grabs a clear bottle that has a bear on the label of it, and pours you a hefty shot. Looks to be vodka. It's clear. This
shots of
pretty good.
vodka.
Burns a little bit on the way down, but this is pretty good.
Yeah. Goldbrand's forgiven now. I like to think when he pays him the double, he says, "For your silence, also," and then he'll leave after that.
Understood completely, sir. For that whole thing, go ahead and minus like 5. We'll say 10 gold from the bag.
Oh boy.
You guys exit
I've already
the
done
bar.
4, so I can do 6 instead, right?
Yeah, that's cool. You guys have not a buzz by any means, but you've had your first drink. You're getting the day started. You do know that the ship leaves at dusk, and it's getting close to that time. It's definitely evening.
We need to head over that way.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm assuming that everybody heard everything, but I make sure to divulge that there's a potential lizard man by the docks that might.
Oh yeah, we need to drop off our
Oh
goodies.
yeah. Actually, yeah.
I still don't know how much coin is a lot, but let's go see what this
That I can
lizard
talk
says.
him down. Wink, wink.
I strongly urge, based on what I gleaned, that the person named Ming who watches the door probably is not one to be messed with.
So here's... Oh, never mind. Devin said earlier it's not a good idea. I can charm person her on the way in if we want to try to just walk past her, but she will know what I did when it is over.
Yeah.
And it's not a long spell. It's only, what, 1 minute, 10 minutes?
10 minutes, maybe.
It's not a long time.
What if we pushed her into the ocean with some bricks tied to her legs?
That's a very apt choice descriptor, Barbara, and you're going to find out why later.
I mean, it might be 8 hours, and we might could tell her to go somewhere else, but it's 1 hour. So we might could tell her...
And her to not be on it.
I mean, even if I told her to go somewhere, there's no guarantee she would go do it. But it is an option.
I think we just try to smuggle something.
Yeah, it's an option if we get in a sticky spot.
Okay. What are we doing, boys and girl?
Lizard man.
Lizard friend.
Yeah, let's chat with the lizard man real quick on the way in.
You guys make your way toward the docks, toward the Grand Dame, pass by it. There's several vessels that are here. The river here is rather broad. There are actual ships on this river. Now, Ben and Barb, while I don't think either of you have been to this town in particular, you do know the Grand Dame by reputation. It is rather a famous riverboat. It's the casino in the country.
We've thought about raiding it before.
Yeah, it's not the only casino in the country, but it's the most notoriable. It has the most notoriety.
But yeah,
You guys make
it's
your
an
way
attractive pirate target.
down. Yeah, exactly. That's why it stops at the end
Very
of the river and
attractive.
turns back around and goes that way. You guys see at the end of the docks a rather ruddy-scaled, thin, Dragonborn. That Ark, you obviously on sight recognize is not a Dragonborn. He has little reddish spikes down his back, and just seems a little wild, little savage. But as you approach, he's actually sitting on the river embankment with his feet in the water, and he doesn't rise as you approach. What do you say to get his attention?
I say, hey, lizard man.
Hey, buddy.
Head switches around.
I heard you're the one to talk to about smuggling some weapons onto the Grand Dame.
He rises to his feet, and like his limbs are very long, and like it's very uncomfortable to see him like sort of clamber over himself to rise to his feet. He goes, "Yes, I can get anything aboard you wish for a sum, of course. What are you looking to bring aboard?"
Fellas?
How do we get it after we get on board?
Oh, I will swim through the water, as I do. Once the ship leaves, I'll make my way and climb onto the exterior of the ship. You'll have to meet me there. You'll hear a small clicking, and you'll know where I am. I'll pass along the things. You have your possessions. I do require payment up front, of course, though.
What?
Interesting. So how do we know he shows up with our shits?
Well, what's to stop you from coming back and killing me later, right?
Very little.
You must have dealt with our types before. Okay.
He holds up his tail, and like it's almost like crocodilian almost, and like the last foot of it, like it gets to a point where it's about 5 inches thick, and then it just stops. And he goes, "No, I've made that mistake before. I've learned my lesson. Never again."
I'm
Well-
gonna interject. I'm gonna say 2 things. 1, what's your fee? And 2, regardless of your answer, it's half up front.
Make a persuasion check. Yeah. Excellent. Wait, is that this? Even better. With a 25, he grumbles a bit. Fucking nobody wants to trust an honest lizard anymore. It's ridiculous. It's hard out here making a living. All right. Half now, half then. And the fee depends on what you have me bring aboard. If I've got to go lugging a whole arsenal on the fucking riverbed, I'm gonna need a little motivation. You guys tell him what
Are we gonna have our bag of holding with us while we're on the riverboat?
You will. I will say though that the gentleman at the bar would have told you that is one of the things that is prohibited. Armor, weapons, and
Extra dimensional spaces.
Extra dimensional. Thank you. Extra dimensional containers.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But we can give it to him. And if he doesn't bring it back, I will find him and I will make fucking alligator tail out of him.
Like fucking Cajun popcorn. No, that's not what I'm thinking of. What were they? The crocodile bites. Gator bites.
Gator bites.
Okay. What are you guys handing him? I need a list.
My weapon, you guys pick.
I'm about to say I vote that we put everybody that needs weapons that they can fit in the bag, we put them all in the bag. We give him the bag. I think the only weapon we can't fit in the bag is Goldbrand's axe. And I'm not sure that he can carry it around on the ship.
Pandora's bow.
I would argue the bow, but she can de-string it. Like she can take the string off and it'd be just a stick, and then it would, I think, fit.
Like a
Usually,
breakdown.
the anchor I don't think will fit, and your shield
thought about
won't
that.
fit. So shields, two-handed weapons, anchor. Yeah. So that stuff you'll either have to choose to leave behind on the ship, not just here on the fucking riverside, or ask him to smuggle them aboard.
I'm bud with you. I pull out the obsidian hand axe and sort of flip it over my arm, and then I wink at Goldbrand and toss it in the bag of holding.
Excellent.
Good to have.
The bow goes in easily. Bergen, your mace goes in. Arc, your sword. I think that's it. Oh, Davos's rapiers go in there.
Yeah. So
But
do
now
y'all want
there's-
y'all shields or not?
Yeah, Bergen and Davos are the two with the shields.
Which would be 2 shields and an axe and the hammer. Can Goldbrand and Ark carry their weapons around on the ship without
You
them
gather
being
no.
seen?
You got
What if Art wears his anchor as like an accessory, like a fashion statement for his gaudy pirate outfit?
Like a big chain, Flava Flav style.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
no.
certainly try. I mean,
Pirate drip.
I guess Goldbrand's old wooden sword doesn't fit in the bag.
the sword. Well,
It's a 2-handed weapon.
it is, but it's also a narrow two-handed weapon. The idea is that if it can fit within a 1-foot circle, that you could put it into the bag.
Let's see. Can he carry that? Well, we'll have the bag, so it doesn't matter if he can carry it or not. Okay. Well, Goldbrand will throw his Uthgardt sword in there.
Okay.
His
what do
first
you do with
class
your
sword.
axe?
He'll
Leave
leave
it on the ship, or
He'll
okay,
leave it on the
axe on the ship. What about your shield, Bergen?
Man,
I think y'all
How-
should give him the shields, because it would just be the bag and 2 shields.
But
Right.
then once you have the
well,
bag, you can probably move around on the ship without being noticed. The shields are not going to be able to hide very well.
yeah, I was gonna say,
How big are the shields?
I mean, you're talking
Kite
couple
shields?
of feet wide. Yeah, a couple feet
Are you-
wide, 3-ish feet tall.
Metagaming DM, are they wearing suit coats? Like, could they wear them on their backs?
Mm,
It could fit. Like,
I
under
would
my
say
clothes?
it would. People who are rather insightful would probably be able to tell.
So you're telling
Right.
us?
yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to leave that. As much as I don't want to.
We'll say Davos makes the same call. Both of you also have new armor, so your AC isn't
Yeah.
terrible without your shield. But Davos and Bergen leave their shields. Goldbrand leads his axe. The anchor. What do you want to do with that, Ark?
I'm gonna leave it on the ship.
Okay.
That way I can kind of get to it at the end game.
You're gonna leave it on your airship.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. You guys put everything else in the bag of holding. He takes the bag of holding and he says, "All right, 1,000 gold pieces.
Just for this bags.
I know what's in this I just watched you guys put like 9 things in this fucking bag. I know it's not just a fucking bag, all right?"
Can I try and persuade him with my furry tatas?
Oh god, don't call them that. But what do you
Or
what
an
do you
egg in
say
my
to?
pocket? Like, maybe I got like some eggs, just like a hard-boiled egg in my pocket. He's a lizard dude. They like eggs.
Would you like an egg in this
God,
trying
I
time?
was about to say
Exactly.
Okay. Make a persuasion check. Let me think. He's a pretty scuzzy guy. Okay.
But
Was
I'm
that
also a
1,000 the
pretty
half
person.
or
The 1,000 is the total price.
the total?
A
Okay.
20. Okay.
And bat my eyelashes.
All right. I tell you what. 800. But you gotta come by back later and buy me a drink, huh?
That seems more reasonable. Wink, wink.
Okay. Subtract 400 gold from the bag. You guys pay him his half up front. He takes the bag of holding, slithers into the water, descends down. He goes about a foot down before he just disappears completely. The water here, because this is not a delta, that's the wrong terminology, pardon me. Because this is where 2 rivers meet, the water here is a little murkier, and he's almost invisible once he's down under there. You guys have paid someone to smuggle your goods aboard. What do you do?
All right, let's board up.
I guess it's
I'm ready.
time.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll pick up with you guys getting
Pizza
on board.
break.
Pizza break. Good, you good? All right. My lords, we pick up with you guys. I presume approaching the dock of the Grand Dame, in Yatar. You see, there is a steady moving line of nobles who are coming through. Not all necessarily nobles, but most of them of affluent wealth. Some of them appear to be adventurous types, such as yourself, and seem to be spending the extra gold they've picked up along the way. Some of them do appear to be actually in a rather seem to be a much more modest means, and you see as each of these people step up to Ming, who I'm going to drop a picture of. She asks them a few questions, and then after a moment waves them through. And finally, it comes to the point where you are all speaking to them. And Ming says, "Welcome to the Grand Dame. Do you have any weapons, armor, or extra-dimensional spaces on your persons?" She's speaking to Goldbrand specifically at this point.
Nose.
I feel like she's what do they call that? Profiling? Excuse me.
Profiling?
She's probably just
Oh, just
very
because he's a
good.
Colossus, he has weapons.
Yeah,
You're
she's
good.
probably just very good at figuring out whether or not you're lying.
She asks you, "Is there anything on your person that we should know about?
Nothing you
Not
should
that
know
I'm
about.
aware of.
Is there anything else that we should be aware of?"
No.
Make
That's
a
a weird.
deception check.
That's a weird question.
Yeah.
No.
Should be
Anything else we should be aware of? Roll a deception check.
anything else is none of your business.
I felt this coming in my bones.
Mmm. Goes, "What is it that we should be aware of?"
Can I step in and be try to maybe use my persuasion and be like, we just have a really, really bad gambling problem. He's in rehabilitation. He's lost all our gold before. It's really a problem.
I am a little
Roll-
worried about having too much of the drinks and making a scene, you children says.
Make a deception check, each of you.
No,
But-
I'm not lying though.
What?
Devin's not lying.
How about this? Instead, Barbara, make one with advantage. We'll say that was Goldbrand helping you out.
Maybe if my thing doesn't crash.
13. Roll the advantage.
Aha!
22.
There we
Okay.
go.
She looks at you. "And you, do you have any?" Oh, actually, 1 second.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh no!
You've got your outfit on. Y'all couldn't see that, correct?
No.
Fantastic. This is great. I'm gonna keep it right up here. Y'all know whenever I roll it though.
No, no,
um,
even more ominous.
she turns her attention to you and goes, "Is there any? Are you possessing any items, weapons that we should be aware of?"
Unless you count these as weapons, and she kind of pushes on her corset to like fluff up her chest.
Oh my god. She proceeds to ask Ark, "Do you have any weapons that we should be aware of?"
Hmm. No, actually,
Was
no, I don't know. No, I don't know.
You are a weapon, bro.
I was gonna say
that's
something
it.
about how I'm a weapon, but I decided
Yeah.
against it.
As you do that, your claws pop up. Roll a deception check with advantage. I like your flavoring of it for sure. Like, ooh,
Mm,
Oh.
fucking
Oh!
20. It's almost perfect timing. As your hand extends, the claws just flick out effortlessly with them. It's a reflex. Like you just extend the fingers the little bit extra you need. Wait, are Ark's claws retractable?
They are. It's part of my dragon
Oh,
height feat.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. They extend out, and she, her eyebrows shoot up a bit, and they're already way up there. So, she waves you in. She asks Z, "Is there anything on your person that we should be aware of?"
Seeing how well that worked, I say nothing I'm aware of, but I will let you know. And then I sort of, in like the smallest fashion, not really using a burning hands, but I just sort of like create this tiny little flame ball and sort of like roll it along my fingers as if, hey, you know how people do the coin trick where they flip a
Yeah.
coin?
What
Fucking up
would
with-
you say this is a level spell or like just a cantrip kind of?
It's just I'm really
Flavor
just
thing, I
using
think. I
like
think it's
it's
cantrip.
produce flame
Flavor.
cantrip pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
flavoring
I would
it
allow
like
that.
a little ball.
Excellent. She nods her head. I understand that some of us are always armed. Interesting trick. And because you did the coin aspect of it, she hands you a small pouch with 25, we'll say, of these Golden Goose tokens.
Oh damn,
Uh,
man! I flashed her my titties and I got nothing.
You didn't flash her your titties.
Well, I can't pull them out.
To be fair.
Man.
Yeah, you did.
So, Bergen, she asks you, is there anything on your person that we should be aware of? Anything that could... Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead and answer that.
I don't think so. I'm more of the I know a little bit of magic as well, but it's more of the helping kind, not exactly hindering kind. So if you like need a medic, just let me know.
Is there anything on your person that can do harm?
Harm?
Dick.
No, I don't think I don't think so.
Roll a deception check.
On my person?
You have the Ring of Winter on.
Oh, piss.
All piss.
Yeah, that's gonna.
You could
that's-
take it off if you wanted to. For the
Yeah,
record.
that's gonna be
right.
real hard to get by her.
Deception 16. I think. Let me double check.
Oh no.
DC is 16. You
I was gonna
fucker.
say
You're
that's gotta be
so
on the borderline.
She goes. Well,
God, I totally forgot about that.
No, yeah. She goes. We hope you enjoy your time among the Grand Dane. Please proceed within the main doorway, at the rear of the ship. Let me go through this very pretty map for you boys and gal. I keep saying boys, Barbara. You're just one of the boys.
I mean, essentially, like pirates, boys, men, whatever.
I just switched to y'all.
Mateys.
Mateys.
Y'all is gender neutral. It's the ultimate inclusion. I
It
love
is.
It really is.
All right.
Y'all is
You
gender.
guys, if you'll drop your tokens, you were down here by Ming. We're going to proceed to put you guys at the rear of the room here. This ship is bustling with activity, by the way. There are several people aboard. There are not only people who are gambling, but there are staff members, there are guards. Anyone you see with a red dot beside them is an armed individual, a guard of the ship of some type, or a crew member of the ship of some type. You guys...
Okay, so someone's might have to explain to me what the fuck's a casino is.
You get drunk, you spend your money, you get nothing in return.
Maybe you get more money. But not always.
Nice. But not
Maybe.
always. So where do you spend the monies? On what?
You
Those-
usually play a
down-
game of some sort.
Yep.
Again, okay.
Yeah,
I
you see that
see.
there's three main things of note that you notice right away. There are blackjack tables. There's a roulette wheel, and there is a bar where you see a horned gentleman with scruffy facial hair, appearing to be serving drinks.
Ooh, I like drinks.
Oh yeah, drink.
So I raise my
Okay.
hand and say, I like
Shot,
things.
shot.
I like drinks too. You guys come up to this gentleman. Gonna drop in chat. I'm not gonna put his name yet. And he goes, welcome to the Grand Dame. I can recognize that this is some of your first adventures out on a vessel. You big fella, you don't quite have your sea legs, do you? As he points to Goldbrand.
This is a little fucks ups.
Yet you two, and he points to Ark and Pandora, you two are quite steady on your feet at sea, aren't you?
Of course.
So,
How did
I grew
you
up
know?
on a boat.
I can tell. It
I'm on a
shows.
boat.
And your
Mom.
friend of Helm here, he's been on a ship or two in his time. Grew up by the coast, I would say. Well,
Yeah.
come on. Please, come on down and let me make you a drink. What would you like? We have beer or wine, the finest mixed drinks in all of Faerun.
Mixed drinks.
So what would a white Russian be called in ye old
You
What
want
the
milk
fuck is
and
a Russian?
you want milk and whiskey. That's what you want.
He goes, no, my friend. We have exquisite craft cocktails. Please allow me to make something that I think you will like. I think you and your Dragonborn friend would like this one. Perhaps even your Fire Ganassi friend. And he proceeds to.
We'll see.
He takes a rocks glass. Or at first he takes these reddish-orange crystals, and he rubs them between his palms over like a wooden slate, and it breaks it up, and it's almost like a salt crystal. He takes a rocks glass, rims it with a bit of lemon, and rims it with this crystal, and he says, fire salts. He snaps his fingers, and a plume of flame pops off of his thumb, and he flexes his hand a bit until it reduces to like a small blue, almost like a pilot light, and he chars part of this black board, or this wooden board, underneath the glass, catching the smoke inside of it. He grabs the bottle off the shelf. It has 3 hellhounds on the labels. Cerberus cinnamon whiskey. He pours it into a mixer with vermouth and a slice of ginger. He shakes it, flips the glass, and pours the mix into the cup. And as he does, the smoke rises off of it, and he flicks once more with the burning hands, and it ignites the top of the smoke, which follows the trail down to the glass, rolls over, and as it rolls over these fire salts, they light up and look like embers. And he slides 3 drinks to you, gentlemen.
Without blowing the fire out, Arcanok shoots the shot while still flaming.
It's nice. It singes a bit on the way down, like that first contact with the embers. It is hot, and granted, you have fire resistance. You're used to hot shit. It's not doing any damage by any means to you, but you can tell that's got some heat to it, and it has a kick like deep in the bottom of your gut, like. Oh, you like it? You exhale, and a little bit of fire comes out involuntarily. Just whoo! Goldbrain, it's comparable to fire water. And Z, you exhale, and you go, woo! Sorry. Accidentally slip into the werewolf out a little bit.
I do want to, as I take it, I do want to say, man of culture, and wink at him before I take the drink.
Love it.
Honestly, so I just want a glass of firewaters. Cup of firewaters, please.
He goes, this is the closest thing I have to firewater, my friend. I think you'll find it has some comparable kick.
Or, excuse me,
But,
he would have said forest water. I messed up.
Yeah, you're right. You're good. He points to Bergen. Now, you said you are from the sea. North or south?
North, but I don't want nothing.
You would not like a drink? Please,
No,
please.
nothing.
Is it a religious thing? I apologize if it is offensive, but we do have exquisite drinks here. And I will guarantee you this will be one you'll never forget.
Y'all got some communion wine or something?
That's what I was gonna say.
One Shirley Temple, please.
Yeah, there you go.
How about you watch me make it? And if you do not want it, I will drink it. We both
A
win.
tall glass of Collins mixer.
Sure. I watch him.
Yeah, and if you want, you can make an insight check. Anyone else? Or I'd say one other person could make an insight check.
I like rolling, even though I've got a -1.
That is what we came here to do.
A negative
is roll.
17.
Yeah,
17 is pretty good. I said I would roll every time. You watch him very closely, and he's got a bit of showmanship to him, a bit of flair, but he doesn't seem to be adding anything he shouldn't. Make a perception check as well, Bergen.
Ooh.
Wait, what's your passive? Your passive something ridiculous right now. Your passive insight is 22. Your passive insight is 22. That's so funny.
Jesus.
He's so insightful.
24. You notice a couple of things. Now you remember, Thogelis had mentioned this guy. He couldn't remember the name, but he's like, the bartender there is a satyr. He's a nice fellow. So you know he's served drinks to allies, at least. That does you a little bit of ease. You also notice that around his ankle, which, by the way, he is a satyr. He is goat from the waist down. Above each of his hooves, there are 2 iron rings.
Uh-oh.
You're not sure what that means, but you pick up on it. You watch him make the drink.
I nudged Goldbrand and pointed out to Goldbrand.
You watch as he takes a cup of water, and he throws it at Pandora. And right before it makes contact, he controls waters to pull it back, and he sort of tosses it back and forth between his hands. And then he spins it, and he snaps his fingers, and a ray of frost begins to freeze some of the water. But he's pulling it as he does, making it a wine glass. But you notice that it's frozen on the outside and the inside, but there's a thin layer of water trapped in between. He grabs a bottle with a green fairy on the label, and he says, Spring Queen's Absinthe. Pours some in. He grabs another bottle, a green bottle with a small yellow pixie, and he adds a clear fizzing liquid. Sprite. Sprite. Pixie. Sprite. Okay,
Yeah.
that's terrible. He opens a small chest and he uses 2 tongs to drop in 2 blue glowing ice cubes. Ice Wraith's teeth. The teeth hiss as they make contact with the water, and it forms like a layer of fog over the glass. And they're glowing, so this blue-green mixture is sort of pulsing with this light blue light. He passes it to you, Bergen.
Before you drink that, can I make an Arcana check on it?
Yeah.
I just want to
And-
make sure there's nothing funky in there.
I'm very sorry. What did Bergen nudge Goldbrand notice?
2
The
iron rings above his hooves. Or
Oh,
his ankles would be. 20. You recognize the spell he's doing. Control Water, Ray of Frost. The Ice Wraith's teeth, you know, are a material component. They are not poisonous in any way, but they are, like, super chilled. If this was not alcoholic, it would probably freeze. But, not harmful to the person.
I put my
Appreciate
elbow on the
that,
counter
Zane.
and I mumble to myself, "This man's the true Avatar."
Most of these are lower level spells, but he's just doing them a little flashy.
That's fine.
Bergen, do you drink it?
I do.
Bergen
Reluctantly.
takes a sip of this, and at first it's chilling, like bold, but it's too strong. But as you take that first sip, that inner bit of ice melts and releases the water that's trapped inside of it, and it dilutes the rest of it just enough to where it's fantastic. It's refreshing. It's got little, because of the absinthe, it has a little bit of a, not a high to it, but like your head feels a little ooh. It's like you had 2 or 3 drinks instead of just the one. You're not intoxicated or anything, and he goes, you'll never forget your first kiss, huh? That is the winter's kiss, to be specific.
Oh.
And you said you were quite at home on a ship too. He points to Pandora.
Yes.
I've got one for you, and I guess for your bard friend as well. And he takes a rocks glass, fills it with a blue liquid, blue dragon curacao. He adds a splash of pineapple juice, which makes the water murky, and then he pours in a shot and a half of Slackerthale black rum. Pours it in, and it darkens the waters immediately. He stirs it very, 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 very quickly. And as he does, he drops something in it. And you don't see it until it hits the glass. It's a piece of calamari. It's a little octopus.
Ooh.
And he takes a lime and he squeezes it. It's dead octopus. It's food. But as the lime juice comes into contact with it, it writhes a bit to where the tentacles just above the surface of the drink like wiggle. It's a little weird, but looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a sip of it, and then kind of make a face and be like, "Oh, I hate Blue Dragon Curacao." For the record, I hate Blue Curacao, like real life.
I don't blame you. It's like the tentacles touch your lip and it's a little weird. But like it's not bad. Like the drink is refreshing. If you choose to eat the calamari, it's chewy, it's yummy. It's it's the lime juice almost like cooked it ceviche style. So
Yeah,
it's
just gonna eat that little octopus and just kind of push the rest of the drink back.
yeah. He goes, perhaps would you like one of the other drinks or wine or beer?
I mean, I'll take another piece of octopus.
He hands you like a small dish with like 4 or 5 calamari in it. Well, I was hoping that drink would take you right back to your memories at sea, Captain Siren's Bane.
Whoa, excuse me. That's not
Yeah,
my name at all.
Art perks up at that, yeah.
Kind of elbow arc. Just, that's not me. You must have me mistaken.
He leans in, he goes, if there are any odds of a second Tabaxi on this ship who looks identical to the only other one I know, and if Avalon's stories are true, then I would wager you are Pandora.
All right,
Finally
she's gonna-
tracked her down to come liberate her, huh?
Yeah, just gonna kind of lean on the bar counter, pushing my fluff up, as you do, and just kind of, So, where's my sister? What do you know?
Yes, well first, I will say be careful. There are guards all over the ship. Probably 20, if I had to guess. By the way, my name is Akihk, and he holds his hand out.
Just kind of shake his hand, I guess. Give him a high five.
He goes, I am a good friend of your sister. We are both on staff against will, as it were. Now, I will help you, but I do hope that you understand. I would like passage out from this place as well.
Well, I mean, damn, you gave me a bunch of octopus, so sure. I'm down.
Fantastic. All right.
Just kind of look at the party and be like, hey, we freeing this bitch too.
We have a little bit of a reputations for fucking with the iron rings.
Because, thank God for that. Just now listen, there are a few things you should know. On each of our ankles, every one of the staff here, there are these iron bands. If we leave the ship, the bands will become intensely heavy. And if we get into the water, pull us under. If we get to the docks, the weight is so intense it shatters the wood and pulls us several feet within the muddy riverbank. It is certain death for anyone who tries to escape the ship with them. But it is not without hope. The captain of this ship, Captain Storm, on the deck above us, he has keys to everyone on the site.
Ooh.
Of course, he is a resilient man, and he packs a powerful punch. You will need to be cautious. Your sister...
Yes, so.
Your sister is likely with Lord Caspar Dryland himself. He's taking a fondness to Avalon. She acts as his personal escort. They'll likely be in the dining room near the bow of the ship, or upstairs in Caspar's quarters. The man is paranoid, always armed, but he's spoiled from a life of vice. He'll fold under pressure if you push out enough.
What is the repercussions if we were to kill this man? Sometimes we are
Lord
wanton with violence.
He goes, well, he is a lord, so there will be repercussions, perhaps from the Lord's Alliance. It is a recognized crime that may put you in bad standing with other nobility. Of course,
Wouldn't be the
if you
first
can
lord
prove he
up
was
there.
doing something illegal on a level this scale, it would perhaps be in your favor, no? He says, you should also be
buying
careful.
Slaves illegal? Frowned upon? Or illegal?
I think it varies city to city, because there's not like one law in Faerun per se. I would say most cities it would be illegal. Indentured servitude, probably common. Yeah. Extremely frowned upon, if at all present in the upper world.
Can anybody, I mean, you probably have to get really close to do it. Is there anything anybody could check to see if these are just like heavy AF iron rings, or if like there's something about them that might be able to
Like a lock
be
that can
removed
be picked?
without the key?
You can take a look. Well, it's... Barbara, you would have to make a stealth check to do this, because if you get on the floor behind the bar, everybody's gonna get their attention drawn pretty quick.
Oh,
No, they won't.
I can play that off as being drunk. It's okay.
Hold on,
No, they
is it time
won't.
for Goldbrand to do the thing? I think it's worth it since it lasts an hour.
Go do
And
the
I
thing.
can
And I
do
can also
three of
do
them.
some more sneakies.
Yeah, I can do 3 of them, so Goldbrand will use his first use of Pass Without a Trace.
That means that
I will be your sneaking for this evening.
you already have like a plus, what, 11, 12?
13.
Okay.
13. Yeah, like it's. Yeah, I mean, look at that.
So you're
Okay.
a
33.
43?
A 43!
You
Oh
disappear.
God.
Like, for a second, he doesn't even know you're down there. And he goes, fucking shit, your sister was not kidding, Christ. Doesn't say, Helm. You take a look at it, and you don't even see a keyhole. You do see a single rune etched on it. It does not appear to be something that can be picked with, like, thieves' tools. Now,
I'm out.
it does seem to be magic. You might be able to do something about that, but you're not familiar enough with the arcane to know exactly what to do about this situation.
Yeah, I need one of my spell boys.
Spell magic.
It says you should also be careful with spells, Monsieur Goliath. Ming, the head of security here. She is likely to keep an eye on you as newcomers. You should be cautious and have drinks, gamble, do what people do when they come here. Blend in. It will make it more likely that she'll lower her guard. I should also warn you that if you are going to get your sister, get the keys, and distract Ming from finding you, you should probably try to keep them. It would be best if it were simultaneous. If you fail at one, the alarm is raised, and if you have not got your other two, then you are very up shit's creek, as it were. Now, if you can manage to get the keys, get Avalon, and distract Ming long enough for her not to notice what is going on, then you very likely can slip away unnoticed.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, I'm feeling pretty sneaky today. We're good.
Wonder how hard that would be. Yeah.
One more time, Josh.
Are you suggesting we split up?
In a manner of speaking.
Not a bad idea.
I think maybe the ideal solution is to find a way to distract her that doesn't require us to split up. I mean, because then we can all go get Avalon together.
I mean,
Well,
but I can just...
The captain has the keys, and Lord Dryland, who is not the captain, by the way, he's the lord, has Avalon with him.
So I gotta get the keys off this one bitch, and then go to the other bitch.
But at the very least, we wouldn't have to divide ourselves 3 ways. We could set a fire. Yeah, classic.
Right, yeah.
We can push her in the
We
river.
could do that.
I do ask. I put the little bag that she gave me up there, and I ask, we haven't made it any further than the bar. What are these for?
These are the Gambling Goose tokens. They are for your bets within the games. They're worth 10 gold apiece. Would you like to cash in any more?
I need to keep them to gamble, right?
Well, he's asking if you want to turn any more gold in for tokens. But for the purposes of this, just so you guys don't have to run back and forth like it's fucking Pokemon and the fucking gambling center for the fucking 10-year-olds, you just know that 10 gold is like the minimum bet and shit.
Okay. I'd say for me anyway, not now. If anybody else would like to get some of these.
He said we should do this, but I don't
Ooh.
know anything about countings.
Does Lord? Can I ask him if Lord Ding Dong has any like gambling that he's bad at? Like anything we could theoretically challenge him into to distract him while I, spirit away my sister.
He is actually, I'm sorry, I forgot, I thought I revealed this earlier, by the way, my bad. He's actually not much of a gambler himself. He enjoys his profits and his opulence, not so much the coin along the way, huh?
Any other weakness then? Like something that easily distracts him?
It's time.
You could pretend to be Avalon.
Quite possibly. You'll have to make sure that she is not around at the time, though. I will also say, you said weaknesses. He is prone to headaches, migraines, and leave him rather foul of moods, and usually retreats to his quarters upstairs.
Scream in his ear. God.
And I'm just gonna look at her and say, and if you want to leave it up to chance, he seems pretty fond of his money. I think a quick way to get his attention might be to make sure his casino loses some.
Ooh.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Let's hit the tables.
You guys, there's roulette and blackjack to start with. What do you guys want to do?
Blackjack.
Blackjack? Okay. This is a game of D12s.
Ooh.
So, here's how this works. Each of you are going to roll a roll a D12 to me, like in chat. If you hover over the dice, you see at the very top it says GM. You can click that and then click the dice you want to roll, and that'll roll it to me specifically. Okay. Each of you roll me a D12. This is your undercard. This is the concealed one, okay? If you rolled a D12 normal, that's okay. That's your top card. Devin, just do one as the bottom card. You did that.
Oh, you need the hidden one to you?
The GM one, yeah. So ignore that too. Your 5 is your showing.
I got
Bergen,
you.
you're welcome to play as well if you would like.
Yeah, you gotta go to the top of that menu and highlight GM at the top left.
Like actually click it and then
it turns
blue or whatever.
Yeah. And so everyone should roll 2. They can both come. Well, I guess they can't both come to me. You should have 2d12 though. One to me and one public.
Okay.
The way this works is a 1 is an ace. Anything that's double digits is a face. So 10, 11, 12, those are all Jack, Queen, King. If it's a 2 through a 9, it's worth that many. All of you know how Blackjack works, I assume. You're trying to get to 21. So your bottom card is hidden. Your top card is what's showing. The minimum bet on this one is 50 gold.
That's 5 of the Golden Goose tickets.
Correct.
All right.
So
Wait.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus that's 6. So there's 300 on the pot currently. Does anyone want to raise the bet before they ask to hit or fold?
Oh god, this isn't Blackjack. This is all kinds of fucked up.
No,
So
it's Blackjack.
real talk,
No.
real talk.
It's just Blackjack.
You don't,
Yeah.
but you play against the house in Blackjack. You bet
play
you
against
can
the house
raise
here.
your.
They also have some. I'm sorry, I should roll. You guys see a 9 showing.
Oh.
So real talk. Can I like sleight of hand anything here?
Yeah,
It's
can you
hard
like
because
count cards with that?
Not on the first game for sure. You
that's
have to play for a while to do
That's a
that.
strong open.
I mean, yeah,
I
but
would say not for this particular one. Maybe for one down the road. So does anyone want to raise the bet before you take your hit or you fold?
I'll raise.
So
Okay.
that's 50 apiece.
Yeah.
That
It's 300 total for the 6 of you. Oh, I'm not going to count Davos since Davos isn't here playing. So 250. Oh no, it's 50 more for the house buy-in. Sorry. 300.
okay. I mean, I'm gonna use, I guess, 5 of the tokens I had just to know that we're not deducting that from our total.
I mean, I
There's
think
25 I said you got?
I think
That's
the-
250 gold.
I think the implication here is that we have enough tokens, like we've cashed in enough to just
Yeah.
play the games.
Does anyone want to raise the
Goldbrand literally
money?
just handed her like fistfuls of gold because he has no idea what amounts are.
Right.
Just got them a bunch of tokens.
I just kind of squint at Goldbrand and I'm like, you can't read or do basic math.
I can kind of
Silly
read
question all
mouse.
his life is
Yeah.
in.
Like,
The fuck's this
You
map?
guys, okay, does anyone want to raise?
Actually,
or are we folding
I have-
or hitting?
I have the free ones. I'm gonna throw 5 more in the pot. Throw an
Okay,
additional.
he raises it by 50. Does anyone want to match that?
I'll match.
Okay.
Goldbrand seeing the
Bottom?
rest of them do so will also do so
know.
because he doesn't know any better.
It's house money. Be careful. I have a-
Nah.
You gotta fold? Where do you want? You can get a hit, but you gotta raise first.
I know.
Match the raise first.
I'm thinking about it. You know what? I'm gonna raise it.
Okay.
Mm,
Barb? Oh, you're gonna raise it more? Or you're gonna match the raise?
Match, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Bergen, you wanna match them or you wanna fold?
Match.
Alright, does anyone want to hit? And if you do, roll a d12.
this is
Hey,
a out.
wait,
out.
Hit yourselves.
I don't know how
17.
Goldbrand knows to call for a hit, but Goldbrand definitely wants.
You see them do the tap with the 2 fingers, and you're like, okay. You do it with your whole fist.
Oh, these are shown though, aren't they? Hits.
Yes. Alright, so like the 12, that's a king. The 5 is a 5. The 10 is a jack arc. Did anyone bust from that?
I think I might have. Let me double
I
check.
think I did. 3, 11.
Remember
Wait, you
that
said the 5's a jack?
Oh no. I think I got
double
21.
digits are face cards. So double digits
No.
are 10.
Okay.
Ones are
Okay,
aces.
okay.
Everything else is just the number.
What's the value of a king? 10?
10, yeah.
10.
I think I got 21. Oh,
Right.
no, I busted.
Okay. All right. So
Close.
Spencer's out. The bartender.
And then
They're gonna stay. Actually, they're above the limit they need to, so they're good.
They have to stay at a certain limit in some games.
Yeah, but they're at that limit. Or no, it's they have to hit until they get to 17. I think is the
Maybe you're right.
house rule. All right. Who got what? Bartender has 19.
Goldbrand is 15.
14.
actually, I think I got. Wait.
Arc
I got
5
18.
plus 18. Oh, okay. So house takes the pot. So that's
Damn.
That's 550 to the house. Do y'all want to play another hand? Or do y'all want to move to roulette?
I think we should move. Not
Yeah.
feeling blackjack
So-
tonight, boys.
That's what
Goldbrand sees her
Goldberg.
take this big pile of tokens.
I mean, Goldberg was gonna go to roulette because it didn't require him having to read a card. Like I figured that was the first thing
Yeah, there you go.
the
That's
barbarian would go to is like this thing spinning on the thing.
You go to a roulette table. This one's really easy. It's a 20 gold buy-in, so 2
Okay.
tokens. And you pick odd or even. That's your red or black for this. So you pick
Okay.
odd or even, or you pick a certain number. If you pick odd or even, and you're correct, you get your bet and a half back. So if you bet 20 gold, you'll get your 20 back plus an extra 10. If you guess the correct number, then you get 10 times your bet back. So if you bet that 20 gold, you get 200 back. You feel me?
Yeah. What are the number ranges you can roll through?
1 to 20. It's a D20.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
All right. Everyone throwing in? 1, 2,
Let's
3, 4,
see.
5.
I just lost 10 of the goose tokens.
You had 250. If you want to deduct that from what the party lost as a total, like if you wanted to pass out your goose tokens first, you guys you lost 300 of your own money so far.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and say that my amount went into that pot, and that essentially whatever. That way we could just play even. I don't have to keep up with the tokens anymore.
Yeah.
All
All right. So everyone pick odd or even. In fact, type it in chat so I have a visual.
in this.
Someone here is gonna win. God.
Yeah. It's the best way to do it. Hedge your bets, motherfuckers.
Ooh.
All right.
It's only
Nobody
20
picking
gold.
specific numbers.
Yeah, I actually want to. Can I? I don't want to waste our money. Can I put 20 gold on 12?
On the other one, just
No.
make it towards 33.
I'm gonna put it on the number 12. Just see what happens.
Gonna put it specifically on the number 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. D20.
Well,
Oh, it's a 20. So, Z was the only one who got his money back. So y'all have a net loss from that. So hang on. Minus 20, 40, 60, 80. Minus 20 more for that. So minus 100. And then
I got
y'all
30 back.
y'all lost 90 gold out of that.
Wow.
Oh, no, 30 from the buy-in. You are correct. So that you lost 70 gold in that. Womp. We'll do one more round of roulette.
Womp womp.
Roulette.
Let's do it.
Everyone, odd, even, or number. Throw it in chat. For oddballs.
It's always on forever odd.
I'm gonna go here.
We're split. 17 was close. All right, so odd wins. So Barb and Devin, you guys get back 60 gold, so you made 20 gold profit together, and then minus 20, minus the 20, minus 20. Y'all lost 40 gold out of that. Collective. It's funny because you guys have a shared bank. If y'all had separate money, that might be a little more.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. About this time, you hear a couple of patrons. One of them's cursing over by a table, and he goes, "I almost won that fucking ship, and it goddamn robbed me of it." He storms off toward the dining area. And you see that in the center table, there is a game with just 2 d6s, and it's a variation of Rollies. You roll 2 d6s, whoever has the highest wins. If you get doubles, they're doubled. So if you have 2 5s, it's not 10, it's 20. You feel me?
Okay.
And apparently, if you beat the house in 3... there are games of... if you beat them in 3 consecutive games, you win a ship. Davos is more than happy to say that he has a pair of rigged dice that if y'all can sleight of hand in, that y'all can use.
I'm on it.
You do have the best
Yeah, I think
sleight
that's
of
the
hand.
highest sleight of hand. Yeah.
Mine's +9, y'all.
Okay, go ahead and roll your sleight of hand check to see if you can swap the dice up when the game gets ready to roll. 23, excellent. I am going to roll for her perception to see you.
I was like, damn, maybe...
Okay.
I don't know, 23 is pretty good.
So the way that his dice are rigged, if it's a 1, it's a 5. If it's a 2, it's a 6. So you'll never roll a 1 or a 2 on these dice. It's always going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. And because your odds for doubles are a lot better like this.
Right.
So do me a favor, roll 2d6. And I'll roll 2d6 here.
All right, let's go.
She got a 10. Okay, so that 2 turns into a 6, which is double. So that's
Oh
24.
shit!
So you win the opening hand. By the way, this is 100 gold buy-in. Okay? When you win the individual
No, I
rounds,
have a ship. Mommy's got a ship.
no, you gotta win 3 in a row to get the ship.
Three in a row. Well, Mommy's
Okay.
still
You got
getting a
2 more.
ship.
Mommy's getting the ship. So you won 100 gold back from that. So now you guys are only 310 in the hole. You're going for another round, I assume?
Yep.
Oh, they landed on each other. Holy shit. Do y'all see that? Look at this fucking... doubles. Holy fuck. So that's not 9. Excuse me, that's not 6. That's 12. The 1 becomes a 5, which is double to 20. Oh my god, again. You win
Wow.
100 gold. This is the high stakes gambling action. Alright.
Oh, you got one more, babe.
If you roll
Hey,
this
I'm-
third one and win, you get the ship.
I want the ship.
He has a 7 total. You have an 8.
Oh
you
my
win
god!
the third roll.
Damn.
New
Good
card!
job, Barb.
The person at the table is almost flabbergasted. Make a second sleight of hand check to swap the dice back.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
That's it's an NPC. It's a check. She has more than a +2, so it's possible. But
Do I need to use my lucky point? Oh my god.
you technically have to say before I say.
Guys. I don't know. Joey's making a face. I don't know.
What is
I'm-
your? Hold on a second. You have a +9. So what did you roll? You rolled a 13. You have a pretty good chance of getting something better. You don't have more than a 50% chance of getting something better.
I've got 3 lucky points.
Wait, do you still have your point of
I
inspiration?
want this ship. I think I used that at some point. But I've got
Last time y'all
3
got
lucky
one
points.
was. Oh no, Felgalus gave y'all one very recently.
Yeah.
He gave y'all one.
Oh,
he gave
I didn't mark
because he's a
that.
luck dragon. He gave y'all a little bit of luck. So if you want to re-roll using that first and see.
Yes, because I am going to get this fucking ship, and no one's gonna know the better. I am determined. That one's a
That's she hits a +4. She rolled a 19, so she got a 23. So
Oh my god, I'm so glad.
solid use of inspiration. You owe that dragon a drink. I swear to God.
Oh no, like me and Felgalus are buddies, man. I let him lose.
You
Like
helped him out, yeah.
With his dice too. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, the dice. Well, no, the dice you got from the Kraken Society. You just used them the first time in a game against Felgalus. Because they're the fishy dice. Remember, it was in a no-nonsense. It was in a nonsensical item thing.
I think that's still
excellent.
ironic.
Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, you guys are going down the river at this point. You are no longer at the dock. So Ming and these 2 guards. Ming comes in. These 2 guards are gonna relocate, I think, here, and we'll stay over here. Ming makes her way in, apparently drawn in by the hustle and bustle of the big winner, people cheering and shouting, and you have done well to win your way through this game of chance. Just lucky today, I suppose. Yes?
been lucky all my 9 lives, madam.
All my 9 lives. Roll the deception check with advantage.
How can she prove she hasn't been lucky all her 9
Oh,
lives?
shit.
You're asking the wrong question, Devin Green. 21's pretty good. Okay. She reaches out a scroll. All 9 lives. You must have done quite a many of things. I know very few creatures that possess 9 lives. Roll another deception check at disadvantage. At disadvantage. Well, I'll say regular check.
Okay, well that 21 is there. 21 and
First one?
21.
Yeah. Oh, okay. She. Interesting. Let me roll one more thing.
One more thing.
This isn't for her. It's okay. She bows to you slightly, and extends out a yellowed scroll tied with a red ribbon and sealed with a red wax seal. The deed to your ship. It is docked in Waterdeep, where we will be arriving just after dawn tomorrow. The ship is yours to do with as you please. You are the proud owner of your own sailing vessel. Don't know what it is. Don't know anything about it. But...
This is great. You know, I lost my ship and I got a ship, so you know.
Yeah, right? Some personal
I
motivation.
wink at her, just kind of.
She will, do you expect to go home with much more than this?
I mean, I'm just happy with my ship. I mean, I can't speak for my comrades, but I'm happy with my ship.
Roll a deception check. 22. Is that? Goddamn, Barbara, you're tearing it up.
I'm deceptive today.
I will say Z or Barb. Both of you make a perception check.
And
Perception.
I wanted to propose something, but I feel like it's sort of cheating if I do it right now.
15 and 19. Z, you notice, as a sorcerer yourself, the very subtle signs of spellcasting. She's very talented in the fact that she is doing this. She has her arms behind her back in her robe, to where they're in their sleeves, and you see just a flicker of movement in the sleeves themselves, indicating some type of somatic components. You gather she's casting a spell, and with the 19, make an Arcana check actually, to see if you can identify the spell.
Okay.
Be 15, I'll say.
Yes.
You think she's trying to detect Barbara's or Pandora's thoughts. She's trying to catch her. She's trying to say something that'll provoke a thought that she can, get a reading on. That's a red flag. Not an uncommon tactic.
I'm just excited about the ship, my dude. Like ship. She's been without a ship so long that literally anything else in her brain
Thank you for
is
that
gone.
interaction, because I didn't want to just randomly be like, so here's what I think is happening.
No, yeah.
Just ship.
She hands you the scroll and proceeds to mill about the area. You've won the main gambling challenge. You have not laid eyes on Lord Casper or Avalon or the captain of the ship.
Well, Dan, I figured he'd get his ass down here since I just took a ship.
You see, there's more of the ship on this level than just this one area. There's a hallway to the back that seems to lead to something.
You sneaker.
For more gambling.
To be clear, I disclose to the party all that, and I essentially tell them when she asks you a question, make sure you are deliberate with your answer and your thoughts while answering.
Yeah, it's because you're not making a deception check because of what you're saying. She's saying things like, you must be really lucky, and trying to catch somebody and thinking like, oh, I'm not lucky, I have this thing that makes me lucky, blah, 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 It doesn't matter what you say if you say, guess so, it's just, Pandora, would you like to try to do some sneaking around? You made it, for this first area, you don't even need to sneak, per se. The hallway you see guests going back there and coming to and fro.
Just act like I belong here, man.
Yeah, you just walk up and go check it out.
Hold on, I need more of those weird drinks.
I'll go with Goldbrand for Bart.
Well, these drinks are kind of pricey.
Yeah, I'm sure.
As they are.
I don't know what money is, though.
Yeah, but considering how much y'all have lost, I'll give y'all a little bit of a deal on the breaks. It was 6 of you. We'll say 2 drinks each. Let's say 100 gold pieces for the 12 drinks. They were gonna be 25 apiece because he's using ice race teats and fucking fire elemental salts and shit. Goddamn spell components. Pandora, you make your way back and take a look through. The first thing you come across is actually the kitchen of the ship. You hear a lot of chatter. Corner, hot hands. We're 86 scallops already. what? Can I get a time check on table 6's ticket? You see a broad dwarvish woman who's adding a grilled whitefish to a very hearty seafood stew. Crab and mussels and scallop, potatoes and carrots. Very smells fantastic.
Meow, meow.
Your little pink nose is just fucking going crazy. You see sizzling slabs of steak on a wrought iron grill, whole chickens on a spit roast in the corner by a tall, lanky human cook. Z, well, do y'all go with her or do y'all let her go alone? Or do y'all choose to have her go alone, I guess?
I mean, I would. At this
I guess go have alone.
Yeah.
More sneaky that way.
Yeah,
Well,
but if we're in a public
have to be with me
place,
for my pass without a trace?
Well, the
yeah,
thing is,
you have to be within 30 feet of me.
and he said that you see people going in and out, so I would
Yeah.
assume that drink in
Yeah.
hand, we're just gonna make at least stay close enough to keep an eye on her so that she's not wandering off by herself too far in this area.
I gotcha. As you pass through the hallway, Z, you see the slabs of meat. You see the raw steak that they're like a hunk of meat that they're cutting it from, and it looks pretty fucking good. Raw, you get a little bit of an itch.
Woo!
You also see baskets upon baskets of bread and butter being raced about by calm yet precise servers. As you approach the rear room, you see that it's a dining area. And almost immediately, Pandora, you spot your sister Avalon next to a rather what's the word to look here? Unbecoming man. Wearing mariner's armor, not unlike what you have now. Yours has obviously been modified, and obviously wearing the garments over that. But
And it's better.
And yeah, and an octopus at his neck, half draped across him, just looks sort of malcontent. And at his side, you see your sister Avalon. And it took me a long time to find this, but I finally found the perfect picture. So I hope this is pretty good for Avalon. I think it's pretty good. Like, I worked really hard on it. I'm trying to stall while it loads, and it's not, it's there.
I didn't realize that was the official art for Mariner's armor. It looks fucking cool.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. And then there's Avalon. You guys, she does not look pleased. She does not look unhappy. She looks rather stoic. Now, Pandora, you are in tune enough with your emotions and your sister's emotions through years of being together that you can tell she's annoyed. She's uncomfortable. But she's having to put on a facade, as it were. Lord Dryland has a bowl of this hearty soup in front of him, and you actually see his octopus, like, a tentacle goes in and it pulls out like a mollusk, and he just starts gnawing on it with his little beak underneath the tentacles. Kind of makes a weird clicking noise, very uncomfortable. But you've laid eyes on them. They don't seem to have noticed your particular entrance. You guys, I imagine, don't just stop and stare and are making your way through. If you come out onto the rear of the ship, you see that there's 2 flights of stairs down, and you can hear the sounds of rowmen, or people manning the oars, who are actually propelling this boat even faster down this river as it follows the current. You've gotten enough of a layout to where you know there's a layer above you that there's 2 spiral staircases inside that lead up. One here in the dining room, and one down here in the gambling room. And you know that the captain with the keys is on the upper level. You also know that there's a level down. Other than the oarman, you don't really know what's down there. But you've gotten a general layout of the ship, as it were.
Damn, I wish I could poison this bitch.
What's the plan, fam?
I was legitimately going to ask if it would be too much attention seeking to grab a table.
Well, and you also know that, in addition to getting your sister from Lord Dryland, you also need some information from him. It seems like he's the biggest connection to the Kraken Society that you have right now. You need to find out where Hecaton is. That is the primary reason that you're here. So you need information from him, so you can't just, crush Skull immediately.
Fair.
We could ask his skull the questions later, because we know that spoopy bitch.
You're right. I
We've
mean,
done that
I don't know
before.
what the time range on that spell is, but I'll look at it real quick.
I don't think there is. I think as long as you have their head.
With Speak with Dead, it's not a very high level spell. I think there is a limit on it. 3rd level.
No matter
It
though, I
can't.
think we can.
It can't have been dead with more than 10 days.
Let's see.
But you guys know you're 2 days away from home.
And I got a fancy new so zoomies.
Zoomies indeed.
Defer to Pandora. It's your sister. What do you want to do?
I mean, I'm gonna have to get keys before we can do anything else, really, because
Yeah, before we can get her out.
I can't just go in there and yoink her.
And you've got
Unless
distract
I'm trying to
Ming.
think of something I could deceive him with.
Do you want to eavesdrop in the dining area? Or do we want to try and sneak around and find keys first?
It might be nice to know where they're going after this, if it takes us that long to get keys.
Yeah.
You, Akihk told you that he tends to be either in the dining room or his quarters. He doesn't seem to spend much time in the gambling area.
I mean, if someone wants to keep him distracted here, I mean, I can go get keys. But then I have to. Well, I'm stealthy enough; I could figure it out. Also, what about our weapons? Like, they're on the side of the ship.
I was going to ask about it earlier, but
Y'all haven't gone to the edge of the ship yet to meet up with him.
We probably should do that before it's too late, before he gives up on us, because he was kind of skeevy.
Yeah, let's go do that.
You can see that there are men on the. I mean, have we gone out the back door
exterior of the ship? If you go out onto the rear of the ship,
Now might be a good time while we have passed the trace up.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a fair point. You come out into the ship, and you do see that there are guards, but they do seem to be patrolling. They make their way up and down. And you recall that he gave you a signal to give to him.
A click, click, click.
Akihk.
Flawless.
Yeah.
You
Pandora
hear
tried to do that thing. Kick, kick, kick.
yeah.
Akihk.
you hear and about 3 seconds later, you hear a wet thud as your bag of holding plops onto the deck, soaking wet. You hope it wasn't opened at any point in that process and filled with water. You don't know. Oh boy.
Fucking professionals, man. Am I right?
Y'all need a
See
shock
that-
bag.
Yeah, see, now, do we have to give him the gold later? He doesn't come up here.
He seems to be. You don't see anything, but if you Goldbrand, if you approach and like lean on the railing as if you were just getting air, you do see that he's just his head's just barely sticking out of the water. He's clung to the side of the boat and he seems to be waiting.
Yeah,
He's not
Copeland
going
drop
to-
him.
Toss him the
Copeland
coin,
drop
man.
him. Yeah, drop him that gold, that little baggie of gold.
Drop him his 400 extra gold.
For sure.
I don't know if y'all did the 400 earlier. If not,
I'm
minus
gonna do it
800
now.
for me. Okay.
I did
drop
400
him an egg.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh shit! Somebody should appear in the bag first, man.
Appear in the bag first.
Well,
Yeah,
you do know one good thing about bags of holding. You have to know what you're pulling out. Like, you can't just rummage through it. You have to be like, I want this sword.
Got
it can be vague. Like, I could say, I want a sword, and I could pull out Davos's really cool fucking magic sword. You know, if I'm a thief just looking for something, you know, you'll have to check your inventory later.
That sinks, but okay. I don't want to Leroy Jenkins this, but I do maybe slightly like the idea of telling Pandora to head upstairs to see what she can find. And is it too bold of me to approach his table and sit?
And sit.
I mean, you could talk about his mistress's beautiful looks.
I straight up, I want to. Okay, this is probably a terrible
The
idea.
best I understand of children's, that might not be a good idea.
I don't know, man.
There's no bad ideas.
I'm feeling a little brash. I mean, I could always open a conversation and say that's a really interesting pet you have there, and point at the octopus on his shoulder, right? Like to try to distract him for a little bit, start a conversation.
Maybe you should wait and do that once I have the keys and I'm trying to free my sister.
Okay, that's
That
probably
way he
fair.
doesn't have his attention on him.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what if we leave the holy man's, the music man's, here to watch him? I believes he can talk to us. The rest of us gets the keys, comes
Yes.
back.
He does have message or sending or something like that. Message, I think.
His message.
All right, definitely getting the keys then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he stays
you
here
know
and
the
watches
captain's
them.
upstairs. You know there's 2 staircases up. Which do you pick, Barb? Or party, but
And as a note, the staircases are in very public areas, and I'm not confident those are public access staircases. So
you do see that both of them have a velvet rope across them, and seem to be for staff access.
which is why my thought was to distract in the moment, but
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know that this one's right here in front of him. That's gonna be hard to slip by, but you know the
I
other
don't
one's
think
down
that would
there
be
in the
the-
gambling room.
I think
It's
the
gonna be a
gambling
high DC either way, but
room, he doesn't go in the gambling room. I feel like this one, the one at the bottom, would be a better option to go in because he's not in the room.
so we still have to split.
Yeah.
Goldbrand has to stay within range of you, but with your incredible stealth and pass without trace, I bet you could zip up those stairs as long as your Goldbrand's near them.
Yeah, like, okay, is the layers between the boat 30 feet? Like, if he walks around, like, underneath me, does that count?
100%. I would say it's probably maybe not even 10 foot a level. Maybe I would say 10 feet's probably a good baseline. Yeah. No matter what
Oh, hell
boat, no matter what level Goldbrand is on and you're on, if you're right above him, you're always in it. And if he's right below you, even 10 or 15 feet the other way, you know, it's pretty close. You're still in that
Hell
range,
yeah.
I think.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, we gotta do some sneaky steps up these
If you
little
could go
sneaky
this way.
stairs.
Alright, make a stealth check to try to get up these stairs. I'm gonna say you
Wait.
make this at disadvantage because it is a public area.
Before
Can I
she-
cast enhance ability? Oh, I also want is guidance
How long does pass without trace
concentration?
last? Is
An
it just
hour.
An hour.
Okay.
Which you're probably approaching the end of that. I'll say this will be the last pass without a
But you
trace
still get
check.
a plus 10.
I want to
that.
re-roll that 19 real quick.
You don't. Well, you still get a plus 10 with the pass
Okay.
without trace on this roll. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
do.
So that would-
too. I
so-
do. Never mind. Never
Yeah,
mind.
so
Forget it.
guidance is
panicked.
concentration. I bet enhance ability is too. Never mind, go ahead.
So with a 29, you do manage to sneak up. If you all go to the right, there's the upper level of the deck here. Oh, I gotta see a Lamo. Lamo.
I feel like this is too late, but I almost
What was
want to
that?
tell her
Nothing's
like
too late.
before she jolts up the stairs, don't get too close to the other staircase. I feel like that will make you leave his range, but I guess if that's the last
Well,
one, it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
you know.
But you peek your head up, and this seems to be primarily a storage area. There's a couple of guards, a couple of servants come up here to grab things. It seems to be dry goods. You can.
Okay.
There is a hallway on the north end. You could try to sneak your way down, but you will have to make another check. This one also at disadvantage.
So, disadvantage. I'm gonna use a lucky. Goldbrand's not underneath me for this one, is he? Or is he still?
He's close
Yeah,
enough for
still-
these, yeah.
If Goldbrand
Okay,
stands in
then-
the middle of the ship, you can go almost anywhere. It's a
Okay,
30-foot
fair,
radius.
Which is only 6 squares. This ship is 250 feet, I think, from end to end, which is 25 squares.
And I mean, if Gold wants to like gradually kind of walk, I can probably like gradually, and we'll be kind of in the same vicinity enough.
Yeah.
Because
Are
if
you
the layout is the same, we know which direction I'm going.
You're good.
Are you gonna Ocean's 11 this, like sync your watches, timers, and meander
8
this
steps. Wait for 3 seconds. Take 9 more steps. So, you do with a 26 again. You are good. You do see this narrow hallway here, and you actually see down it to where there is another guard at the end of this passageway. Oh, that was the wrong one. Bloop. You see 3 doors to your left, or rather, one door. The first one is a door. The other 2 are draperies.
Okay,
They're
we'll do
just
that
cloth
Monday.
doors.
Ooh, clock doors.
And then 1 hard door, the first one.
So I can peek in these cloth doors fairly stealthily. I would think.
Well, remember you have that one guy at the end of the deck who is looking down this hallway. So you would, it would be a little difficult to not be noticed by him. You could do it, but again, at disadvantage. There,
I was trying to think of a way to distract him so he'd get out of this hallway, but I don't really have anything on me that I can, like, cause a disturbance without raising alarm.
You see behind him, there's a few small barrels and crates. Nothing too big, but just a few random objects that could be perhaps nudged and a ruckus made.
Ooh, I think making a little bit of a ruckus while I'm stealthing around might help. Honestly, because then his attention isn't on me, or rather, you know,
Yeah.
he's not on for the hall.
Goldbrand, do me a favor. Make a deception check.
Oh no.
But why though?
But why indeed?
Oh
no.
God, Goldbrand.
Oh.
This is a roll of fate right here. Hang on.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Ting, ting, ting.
She got a 1 too!
Oh!
Since hers was a nat 1 and yours was not, even though she has the higher modifier, I'm gonna say she fails that. Ming does not notice that you're casting spells on her boat.
Pretends to stumble around drunk. Goldbrand gets drunk. If it doesn't make
fantastic. So he's good. Barbara, you still need to distract this gentleman. How do you choose to go about doing that?
I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything on me, but these barrels, I guess, are my best bet to, like, toppling it over and then, like, zooming away like a fucking cat in the night at 3 a.m. Where they, like, parkour off your wall, knock off, like, your glass of water and zoom off.
You know, we didn't mention it. You guys got the bag of holding. Did you take your weapons out?
I don't think we did. I didn't.
No,
You can reverse gravity, but I don't know if you can do that without your bow. I can't remember if that's
No,
a
I
bow
need my
ability
bow.
Didn't the
Damn,
dragon
I
give you
should've taken my
something?
bow.
Let me see.
Hold on.
Get the ring, right?
Well, it's the ring that became the bow. It was what plant.
Yeah.
Ring was what planted.
Oh,
the
right.
bow
Never mind.
to
Never mind. Never mind.
Do the do.
Yeah.
Let me see. Those two are the bow. If you think about this, like, fuck, if I had my bow, I could shoot an arrow at this and knock it
Yeah.
over. I could use the reverse gravity or something to do it.
Hold on. I'm looking. I'm thinking. Because I'm trying to think what, like, features and traits I have. Hold on.
I'm gonna head out, guys. I will catch you all next week.
No, yeah,
Oh, you
catch you later,
good?
Spence.
Hey, Spence.
Thank you for hanging out late. Sorry, I know we
Yeah.
started late, so
Have
No,
a
it's all
night.
good.
fun shit.
Later,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Later, dude.
Hold on.
I knew I
let's
should have
see.
slid the magic stones in her pocket. Even if they were magic,
mean-
she would have had pebbles.
You do have, like, I see an amethyst in your possession.
Oh,
a
me?
Yeah, like a regular amethyst.
What can I do?
Yeah. You could toss it to cause, somebody to go check out the sound, or like, oh shit, there's fucking valuable gems over here. I gotta go check that out. Blah, 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 blah. You do
Right.
use your amethyst in that case, though.
I mean, I can get more. At this point, I have a ship, so I'm, like, really, like, over the
I'm in
moon
the
because I
green for
won.
today. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
like, everything's smooth sailing from here. Yeah. Is that something I could, like, roll down the hall and have him go, like, potentially see it because it's shiny and,
Yeah.
Crow's logic?
I
Yeah,
just imagine Pandora's logic is I like shiny, he'll like shiny, and just roll the shiny down the hallway.
Throw it, or make a stealth check at disadvantage to see how well you can produce this down the hallway without him being directly alerted to it.
Oh, my mouse done froze. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh,
I can do it
no.
for you if you would like.
That was good. I don't know. I don't trust your rolls, Joey.
And
God.
actually, I said stealth. I'm thinking sleight of hand. No, stealth, because you're trying to do it without being detected, not trying to. Okay.
You know, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. It'll be okay. Things are fine. This is fine.
To expedite, I can roll for you here if it's gonna be a second. Womp womp. Womp womp.
Right. Oh, there, and then I threatened it, and so now my mouse is moving. Okay.
It's like, don't use your
Oh, as you do.
23 and 23.
33 with
Yeah.
Goldbrand underneath. You toss the amethyst, and the guard, while he was keeping watch, wasn't paying particular attention to the area you toss it. And you wait for a moment where he seems distracted. He turns his head back, he sees it, and he looks over to his side. And he makes his way down the hallway. He picks it up, and he sees the shining purple stone, and he looks toward the solid door, and he quickly pockets it. And as he turns around to walk back down the hallway, there's a moment of opportunity if you want to check out some of these spaces or enter one of these spaces, or see what's down in the room he's in.
If I get down to the room he's in, then I can pull the barrels loose and continue checking things out with more time, I think.
Quite possibly.
Cause another commotion down here. I think that's what I want to do. I want to cause a different commotion. Just a series of unfortunate events for him.
Okay. I'm gonna say you get fairly close. As you come around to this corner at the end of the hallway, you get a sight for the rest of the room, and you see that he's not the only individual in this room.
Well, fuck.
You see a sturdy wheel with a man in a red coat, ironically enough, given Ark's fashion statement today, is manning the wheel, and you gather this to be Captain Storm.
That's my keys.
You see a heavy ring on his belt with several dark stones with different etchings on them. You also see another armed guard at the corner. If you try to do those barrels, these two individuals are in this space.
Okay, maybe I don't do the barrel.
Do it in their melee-wise, that's pretty risky. Would you like to use this opportunity to instead check one of those three rooms? I'm going to say you only get one since you went all the way down to the end of the hall first.
One room. I'll check the one closest then.
Okay. You see it's a sleeping quarters. You see that there is a gentleman on a hammock in here. It seems to be one of the crew. Given that they work through the night, they probably swap off some shift.
I don't like this duel.
Fall again, baby.
Dude, it's a duel.
Y'all are stools.
Okay.
All right, Barb.
Yeah,
if you're gonna try to check another space, you're gonna have to make another
It was on a tower.
disadvantage check. Oh, Ben, you're loud. I think it was because the ham was close. You hear that, Barb?
Sorry, there was a real life commotion.
You're good. If you want to check one of the other spaces, you're gonna have to make a check at disadvantage, or find another way to distract him.
I'm not really interested in these spaces because my eyes on the prize is right up here. So, I mean, I found what I wanted to find.
Absolutely. How are you gonna get it?
Let's see. I mean, I did.
About this time, Davos chimes in your ear. Hey, it's just been a second, so I'm checking in. You pooping? You good? You,
I mean, eyes on the
anything
prize. I'm working my kitty soft paws right now.
Should Goldbrand stop wandering around like a drunk asshole, or are we good there?
I mean, if he can wander closer, I guess closer to where the kitchen is, because that won't seem suspicious. But I would like some help with my sneaking still, just in case.
I forgot that message. Could I tell him to send her? It'd be difficult for her to get back down, but could I tell him to send her a message and remind her that I could use invisibility if needed?
Oh, yeah. You do hear. Z says he can turn you invisible, and if you need a distraction, I can start a concert or something. I can just start playing. I'm kind of a celebrity, so I think I could draw a crowd.
I mean, if y'all want to do that in the room that our friend is in down here, because that's where that staircase leads. Really, I'm the only one that's going to stand out to him, being that I am, a twin. So him seeing y'all is not going to be suspicious.
Dad was like, yeah. And unless anybody has a counter offer for the distraction, he's going to make a performance check for this.
And if she wants to like sort of skirt down the stairs, I wonder if I could just like sort of like reach up and high five the side of the staircase to try and turn her invisible without her coming all the way down. I don't know.
That's fair. Okay, so Z and Davos make their way into the room. Goldbrand's hanging in the hallway near the kitchen. Ark, where are you at this moment?
See, I'm with Z. I'm standing beside him.
Okay. If y'all will put your tokens roughly where you guys are, y'all are now up on the staircase she's talking about. Is the staircase up top? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Goldbrand, if you'll put yourself in position and put, I guess
I
Bergen will
have
probably
two
be
tokens
hanging
on
out
this
near you.
map. Whoops.
What was that, Berg?
Oh, I've got 2 tokens on this map.
Oh, it's fine. That's your sister. We got 3 tokens on this map, actually.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So
Well, this one's in a little rowboat. She's sailing.
Davos comes into the dining room and he goes, "A toast to Lord Casper Dryland for his generous hospitality on this fine evening on this incredible ship. I am a bard of no small renown who's gathered musicians from across the country, and I'd like to play y'all a little song. Big wheel keep on turning, proud Mary keep on rolling, 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 rolling on the river." With a 23, I'm gonna say he draws some attention. Both of the captain stays at the wheel. Both of the guards that are up there, Pandora, both come to look down the stairs to see what's going on. You gather it might be harder to do the tap off invisibility, but you see that you might have a better shot at Captain Storm now.
Yeah, because
you'll have a better chance over. Is that a greater invisibility or a regular invisibility?
Just regular invisibility.
So when she does an action, does it stop, or is it an attack?
Let's see. The spell ends if the target attacks or casts a spell.
Okay. There's a case to be made where pickpocketing is an attack on their inventory, but I will say instead that it's not an attack. It's you just it's like Skyrim. It's not. You can go through inventory. That's not a crime. It's just taking stuff that's a crime. What do you want to do, Pandora? Do you want to try to get the invisibility? Do you want to try to go for it for Storm now?
Well, I mean, my stealth is pretty good, especially with Gully still in the vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
Invisibility wouldn't improve like my sleight of hand roll or anything, would it?
It wouldn't for your sleight of hand, but it would make you. If you failed your sleight of hand, he would feel something, but he wouldn't know right away what it was.
Like, if I was invisible.
Correct.
So I could theoretically go again.
Yes. Yes.
How hard is it gonna be to go fist bump Z?
With the 2 guards looking down at Davos's performance, at that staircase, pretty hard.
And this feels sort of cheap, but I will say, because they're looking down the staircase now, keep in mind the barrels to your right are sort of free game. In the event that you go to snatch the keys and fail, you might be able to duck into a barrel.
Oh, fair.
Fucking Wind Waker it?
Yeah, exactly. I like that, y'all. That's good.
So you're going for Storm?
We're gonna go for risk it for the biscuit here, but I do still have my lucky points because I haven't had to use them yet.
Whisker biscuit, risked it for the biscuit. All right, let's see. You get roll a stealth check. I'm gonna say disadvantage. Because there are 2 other cards.
Oh my god!
There. Another 223s.
What?
Again.
That's fantastic. Okay, he does get to make a check. He does not seem to notice. Make a sleight of hand check to take off the key ring.
Bless. All right. Let's see what I roll.
19's not
Let
bad.
me re-roll that. I'm not happy with that one. That was a 10.
Before
And
you
I feel like-
re-roll, okay,
Oh.
never mind. I
Yeah,
was gonna
that's
say, some spells like make you pick the new one, so I was gonna say, just fair warning, if you do roll lower, you have to take it. I'm not sure if Lucky is that way or not, but with the 28, no, you're clear. He cannot get a 28 with his perception. You
Good.
very deftly, you begin to lift the keys, and the thought occurs to you that the weight will be thrown off, that he might notice that. And
Some of my
so
blingy jewelry, though, like
you
like my
take 3 of your
big jacket.
bangles off your wrist, and
Yeah.
you put it onto the belt loop to where there's still
Indiana
a weight
Jones
there.
style.
And flawlessly, like he never knew you were there.
Kitty
You have
soft
the
paws.
keys. The guards are still distracted, so it's only a regular stealth check to make your way back down to the lower room and down that staircase. You'll have to make 2
Gotcha.
checks because there's guards down there too. So first stealth check.
First stealth check.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Second stealth check to get down these stairs.
Holy shit!
Nat 20. Goldbrand, you're sitting here in the kitchen. The food smells fantastic. You're not in the kitchen. You're sort of in the hallway outside of it. You're getting a little hungry. You've had a few drinks. You know, you're kind of leaning against the wall more than you are standing. Like you're a big dude, and you've
Bitching
like,
a bargain
the
about how he's
children-
hungry.
Yeah, you're like, the children's drink these. They can't be that bad. But you've had like 5 or 6 mixed drinks now, and you're starting like even your constitution is like, ooh, that's it's got some kick to it. But it's you're bitching to Bergen, and you're like, oh, I'm so fucking hungry. And Pandora's like, yeah, me too, beside you, and you never even saw her come up. She's just poof, cat dimension in full effect. You have your keys. You know where your sister is. You know where Casper is. Davos has finished his song, and you see that Lord Casper Dryland, clutching his head, annoyed, begins to make his way up the spiral staircase, leading Avalon, and they disappear upstairs.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, you know that he said Akihk, because he wanted drinks with Akihk. Akihk told you that his quarters were upstairs. You've seen one of the rooms, so you know roughly where his quarters are.
Maybe we should let the satyr go first. and then
I was
go.
about to ask if we could let him go first because I want to know what happens when you dispel the magic on these things in case it's like overtly obvious in some way.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I feel like Ark, if he needs, or Gully even could stumble, like if it's like loud or something, could like stumble across the bar, acting, drunk as they are.
My thought was he's
just
behind the bar,
knock
so slipping the
something.
keys, and if something crazy happens at his ankles, like it's harder to see because he's behind a bar.
That's fair, yeah. So are you going to be... Who's using the keys? Because again, you pick these up. They are not keys per se. They are stones with runes on them.
So should it be a magic fellow?
I guess if you need me to match you, match you some stuff,
Z
I
can
can
do
try.
it. I guess
Gotcha.
Goldbrand could do it if y'all wanted to play up the drunk thing, because he's a druid, so he has spell casting. My Arcana is not great, but
I will warn you, this is an Arcana check, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's
probably
even.
me. I don't know. I'll go for it.
Z, how do you want to try to sneak back there without being noticed, or do you want to have some type of reasoning for being that close to the bar?
What I want is actually here's what I want to occur. I want to be sort of guiding Goldbrand. And if you want to be saying something along the lines of you have to try this stupid whatever weird accent you do drink that I just had, it's incredible, and I want you to sort of bang into the bar as I attempt to sort of like you almost like knock me into it as I try to like press forward the keys and make it obvious to him that they're there and slide it across to give to him.
Okay.
Because my assumption is he could try to unlock it himself, right? I don't...
There is a guard not far from the bar. There's one just to the left here in the corner, who is... Now, this little table is an actual full bar, so he is not behind the bar.
Could I go schmooze him? Just, hey, handsome.
I got you.
You could try to do a check to distract him. Yeah, sorry, that's probably a bad there's technically not a bar on the original map. I'm just editing this.
I see.
So apologies for that, but I will. Hopefully that'll give you a better.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not a full bar, but it sort of goes. Okay.
Yeah, it goes all the way to the wall there, but it doesn't go, like, it doesn't wrap around right here.
Okay, so my thought would be, I don't know, if we came around the corner, I feel like I could subtly drop them at the wall too, or try to just duck down behind the bar without the guard noticing, but
Whoops.
my stealth is not incredible.
So, you know.
I mean, again, I could go schmooze the guard.
Yeah.
Barbara, do a persuasion check. What, if you tell me what you say to him, like what you're trying to schmooze him exactly. I won't even make you because 21's pretty good.
I was gonna say, hey, handsome.
You,
This line of work any interesting for you here?
you guys are always usually pretty boring, but I've caught my eye on something rather beautiful today. At least I think I have. I can't even really see your face with all that little frilly stuff right here. You're keeping him occupied. Josh, if you want to try to make a stealth check to drop the keys, you're welcome to.
Okay. Nope, that's an 8.
Ooh, yeah, that's not very good. You drop them and it's audibly noticeable. It is a heavy, clatter. Barbara, roll another persuasion check to keep your guard busy.
If I was gonna ask, could I knock over like some other glass? The whole
Yeah,
reason
knock
I asked
over a
Goldberg to
glass.
come along with me
I mean, I rolled a 31
was that
on my
he was
persuasion.
making them
I'm like,
with a nat
Yeah,
20,
that was-
Barb, like the guard makes some stupid joke and Barb laughs like girls do over laugh like when they're talking to a guy that thinks handsome. Yeah, the obnoxious and it draws just enough attention or it's just loud enough at the right time where it doesn't seem anyone of import noticed. A couple of people look over, but they just think it's some drunk guy dropped his keys. Not that they have keys.
Very
They have
nice.
keys, just not car keys.
Okay.
Akihk looks down and sort of anxiously looks to you. And he takes his drink mixer and he scoops them up. He goes, what was that drink you asked for, sir? Yes, talking to you, see?
And how do I say this? I want to say that I think he called it something along the lines of matching runes.
And see, match. Oh yes, I believe I have that label. Give me one moment. I believe it's under the bar. And he dips down. He's gonna make an Arcana check. I'm gonna say he has a +5. He is a spellcaster.
I have a
pretty adept.
+5, so that's okay.
He's Fey. Yeah, I'll say a +5 is good.
I think you should roll it on the big dice.
You know what, Barb? You're right.
Oh,
All right.
Since we're making
This
a
is our one for the big rolls. All right, so let me think. He's got a +5. I don't mind to tell you guys he needs to be a 16. So he needs to roll a 11 or higher. That's just under 50% odds. So let's see what we got. 15. He goes down and he flips through the ring and he finds one that matches the rune on his, and he touches it down, and the anklet on his right hoof falls off. Wheel or woe, Devin?
Whoa.
Always woe,
Alright.
man.
It's always whoa.
Always woe.
It is even. In his haste, he's excited it goes off. He takes that same rune and goes over to the other anklet. But the other anklet has a different rune on it.
Oh shit.
Dumbass.
You hear him, ow! And you see that the key is like glowing red hot. And he pulls it back and he scrambles. He's going to make an Arcana check at disadvantage. So again, has to beat an 11 both times.
God.
17. That's cocked. Nat 20. Okay, he doesn't get the nat 20 because it's a disadvantage, but he finds the other rune and unlocks it, and the other one falls off. He comes back up with a blue label bottle, and pours a drink, and hands you a cloth napkin with a drink, and beneath the napkin is the keyring. He goes, on the house. And you have freed Akihk. He's still wants a ride off of here, but he's, we are hella late, I know, because we started hella late, and we're 15 minutes past that, so we're gonna call it a night there. We're gonna pick up with the final mad dash to get Avalon off of this ship, and you guys away on... By the way, you're on a ship in the middle of the river, probably pushing 80 plus miles from where you left. Keep that in mind.
Okay, I took a spell. We're gonna sink the ship and get the fuck out of here.
Oh boy.
I'm just.
Hey, I got a ship waiting for me at the port.
Do that, Gold, please. Actually, go over and make a wisdom check for me.
What?
Don't make me
God.
do it.
Not now.
This is the tactician in Goldbrand. Beat a 15 with a
Oh,
wisdom check.
wisdom check.
you'll
I
got pretty
should.
odds for that.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh,
Every
no.
time.
Oh.
It sucks.
It's not wise.
You really do.
Yeah.
I'll give you advantage because you've led men in battle before, and you have a tactical mind.
There you
There
go.
you go.
27.
All right.
You know.
There you go.
If this ship goes down, every one of these servants will sink.
Oh, that's
immediately.
shitty.
They will have no chance to get to the shoreline.
Oh, that's shitty.
I just want to point out that. And
That's the most Goldbrand thing you've ever done. Oh fuck.
so I guess a point of clarification: the ship that Pandora won is back where we came from.
No,
Yeah.
it's at the city you're going to.
Aha!
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
With that, my dudes, we'll go ahead and call it a night. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the Grand Dame. Hope you had fun. Glad I was able to take 210 of your gold coins, but you did
I
get
got
a
a
whole
tip
fucking
for it.
pirate ship and a fuck ton of drinks. So, you know,
Yeah,
really,
it's fun.
wasn't that big a loss? Love you guys. Please be good to one another. Don't forget to love yourselves. And is it the weekend yet?
Bye.
Deuces.
Bye, guys.